was beating me up today.
Yeah. The humidity is a beast. Had humidity yesterday, man.
Coach, you on fire. You ready?
Now,
Yes, sir.
good evening, and welcome back to Coach K Sports Corner. I got a hot one for you tonight. Really hot. If you've been checking us out and watching us, we brought you some great stories. Myself, SMED, and Peanut. That's my fact checker back there, Peanut. And SMED, we thank you for your hospitality and letting us use your facility to do this. And we try to bring light to the community and give our athletes their roses while they're still here. But tonight, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm still giving roses because I got my man, my friend, and I've given him a lot of names over the years. But his name is Brandon Mckinney. Brandon Mckinney was a Trotwood student, transferred to Chaminade Julienne, where he was a star football player, just a student of the game. Went down to CJ. You wouldn't believe he was playing linebacker at about what were you weighing at that? 300 pounds. And I was sitting up there watching like, this mug is playing linebacker. And you don't know, if you don't know, you don't know. That's hard at 300 pounds.
Ooh.
But he was elusive and he could do it. And he went on in Michigan State. And with further ado, I'm going to let, I got a couple other guests too. But I'll get to those guys when we get to that segment of the show. But I'll go ahead, fuck it. Y'all see him. We got Shaq, Marlon Shackelford.
Big Shaq.
Guys that's out in the community trying to make a change in our community, and we're going to talk about our community. We're going to talk about Gettysburg and the plaza and all that and all the drama that's going on. We're going to talk about that nonsense. And I got my good brother Sean Walton. And what made me want to bring these guys on, and I'm expecting one more person, maybe two. But what made me bring these guys on was their insight on everything that goes on in this community. Shaq has been, such a positive leader around here, talking to the kids from all walks of life. He's been talking to them, trying to share his story and get positivity into our community and get our kids to understand, what's going on. Sean Walton, brother from way back, who his mind is so powerful and he spits out fire, and such knowledge when he speaks. And it needs to be on a broader base. He needs a broader platform to get this message out because we have to send a message to the people of our community. And if so happen, it can reach the world or the country or even the next state. That's what we need to do. Or the next city. Yeah. We'll narrow it down to the next city.
Next city first, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take small steps. But we got to get this message out, and we got to get people to come together and say, hey, these are things we got to do. So I felt like the best time to do this was with Brandon Mckinney, because when I give Brandon his flowers, a lot of y'all people do not know, because he never let you know the things that he has done in this community in his 9 years of playing professional football. He's done a lot. And I'm proud to say I am his friend. Not only was I his coach, but, since he hit Michigan State, I've been a friend to him. So, I'm going to let Brandon introduce himself and talk a little about himself. Brandon Mckinney.
I appreciate you having me on here, man. I'm surprised you don't have no theme music coming in.
I did.
There ain't no theme music, man.
Okay.
Got theme music,
I gotta go back and watch it.
Yes.
That's
some Biggie.
That's like
Biggie.
quality. I'm about to say. That's like quality production.
It's a mix.
It's a Biggie mix.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
But no, I appreciate you letting me be on the show, man. I'm actually honored to be on the show because a lot of people before me have been on here, have been dating greats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to be considered, in that category it's definitely an honor.
Because you are dating great.
Absolutely.
Yes, you are.
In multiple ways.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So a little bit about me, man. I want to touch on my transition from Trotwood to Chaminade. And you see a lot of people talk about how adults hate on kids all the time. And my first hate that I could think of was when I was 15 years old, going from Trotwood to Chaminade. Nobody said I would make it. Nobody said I would graduate. I got Facebook friends, I hope they see this.
Right.
Parents of players at Chaminade that said I wasn't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And so, went to Chaminade, played 2 years, got all my scholarships in 4 games when I played linebacker in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, every last scholarship that came in was in 4 weeks. Jim Place was really good to me. He just came out with a book not too long ago and put me in his book, and I'm honored for that as well. But I went to Chaminade, man, all-state offensive lineman, all-state defensive lineman. Ranked like top 10 in the state, number 26 defensive lineman in the country. I had multiple offers. I actually committed to Ohio State my junior year. And if you remember, my senior year when Cooper got fired,
Right.
I didn't have the grades, the test scores, and then Tressel came in. And Tressel might have called me one time. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. And so Bobby Williams, who was a black head coach at the time in Michigan State, he stayed after me. They stayed on it. Ended up going up there. It was like, and you ask anybody who's ever had a visit to Michigan State, it's always their number one visit out of all the schools they go to. I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is. I know what it is, but it's always like that. And man, I played 4 years at Michigan State. I was at a point there when I broke my foot. I was preseason everything, voted captain. And I broke my foot, man. I was like, you know what? I'm done with ball. I'm gonna just go ahead and get my degree and then figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But the type of person I am, I'm gonna keep pushing until I can't push no more. I'm gonna try to figure it all out.
Absolutely.
And so I kept pushing. I had a horrible last 2 years, bad coaches, talked about real bad. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Ended up getting undrafted and going undrafted to San Diego, and man, had a pretty good career there. And went to Baltimore for 4 years. And was kind of off and on with Indianapolis for 2 years. And just a quick story. I like to tell people how cutthroat the NFL is. When I was with San Diego, I was supposed to start. It was my 3rd year. It was the 5th game of the season. I was supposed to start. They flew us down, or we flew down on a Friday to Miami. Because you fly from West Coast to East Coast, you fly on Friday.
Right.
And I'm starting that game. They called me up on Saturday to this dark room, like it was like a movie.
Wow.
I'm with the general manager. He's like, yeah, we're going to release you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in Miami.
Wow.
He said you can either stay with the team, go to the game tomorrow, or we can put you on a plane back to San Diego. And so I went from starting to the original starter saying he's going to play, and then we had somebody who was suspended. They brought back on the team. That's how cutthroat the NFL is. And so that was like one of the harshest experiences I've ever been to. Boom, next week with Baltimore. Y'all know the whole story with that. That turned out good. But one of my biggest, 2 of the biggest things for me when playing in the NFL was being able to come back to Dayton and give back to the community. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff when it comes to camps, some type of enrichment, going to talk to kids in schools.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
We're going to get all of that. I'm going to dig into all of that.
Doing dad and son with breakfast. I mean, I've done a whole lot of things. And then I've probably done more things off the grid than I have done on the grid. And that's what people really don't realize. Kerry has called me many a times, saying, hey, man, we got some kids, they're struggling, you got some cleats, can you get some cleats? I mean, I've I mean, we got I
Kids
never
in purple cleats,
right.
blue cleats. I'm like, it don't matter. Come
Okay.
here.
I mean, I probably went through 1,000 pair of cleats, man, in like 9 years. I never played in the same cleats in the same game. Yeah, I mean, it's just they come. You know what I'm saying? And it was just easy. But that was my 9 years in a nutshell, man. And from there on, one of the biggest things was trying to figure out who I was outside of football. And that's what a lot of people don't understand and don't realize, like, who you really are. I've been playing football since I was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you knew.
That's all I knew. And I remember somebody told me, do not let football identify you.
Absolutely.
But how can you not when that's
your breadwinner.
that's your breadwinner.
That's your lifeline.
everything.
That's everything.
That was
That's
everything.
That's what people cheer for.
Right,
You know,
correct.
That's how you receive
Right.
your esteem, man.
And so I was always seen as Brandon, the football player.
Not Brandon.
Not Brandon, but
Just
just
Brandon,
Brandon,
the
football
football
player. And now it was like, I really hate when people, I used to play football, whatever. I work for Wittenberg now. I'm an administrator, you know what I'm saying? And so, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, because I felt like as a football player, when you play a long time like that, you're late in the game when it comes to the corporate world type things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was 31 trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
Right.
When most 21-year-olds are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And by the time
Most
they hit
31-year-olds done bought homes. They're established.
Right.
They're 10 toes down
Correct.
in their career.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so, and I try to tell people, you have to just figure out who you are. You know what I'm saying? Brother Bird.
That's Deacon Bird.
Right. But yeah, a lot of NFL players deal with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure out who you are without football. And so for me, it took me a few years, but I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I tried training players, that didn't work. Tried coaching football, really didn't want to stay with football like that. But once when I was at Central State, I figured, hey, I can do this administrative stuff. So I still, for a living, I get to go to.
Before you go there, tell me about, and I'm going to stop you on that point, Central State. Because I felt like when you went to Central State, I was happy because I'm like, hey, we got one of ours up there on the staff.
Send them players.
Yeah, we're gonna send these guys up here to Central State. They're gonna play for Brandon. This is what they're gonna do. And Bird's phone was going off. I don't know what kind of ring he had. I don't know what kind of
That's an alarm.
Star Wars, baby.
But
Sci-fi.
I felt what they did to you. Tell me about that situation. I mean, I don't want to.
No, we can
You
go
tell
into it.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I did interview for the head coaching job. I did not get a second interview. When the new coach came in, he named me defensive coordinator for Central State. COVID hit in March, so we were
got
kind
shut
of
down.
everything was shut down. So everything was kind of so. I get a call. Like June 10th or 11th saying, hey, we're going to lay you off. I'm like, okay. So I called the assistant coach like, man, they're laying people off, man. What's going on? He was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, okay. You didn't get a call from the AD? He was like, nah. I said,
Now, is that the same AD still there?
same AD still there. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm calling back. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Well, we had to make budget cuts and this and that. I'm like, hold on now. I already gave up 10% of my salary. I ain't
It
making.
wasn't about the money.
It wasn't about. I ain't making much. But you mean to tell me my salary is causing trouble at Central State right now? I mean, this is what's really happening.
Yeah, I remember we had this discussion.
And so now at that point, I'm the only defensive coach on the staff.
Yeah.
I'm the defensive coordinator. I'm the strength coach. I'm the only person from Ohio on the staff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Only person, not only from Ohio, but from the area.
from the area.
From there, they can go into a living room,
Correct.
and talk to a kid, and a parent may know they're going to know you.
And we were making headway when we were recruiting. I mean, it was going. I mean, we were
Yes.
in trouble. I mean, we was flipping kids. I mean, man, we was going. And so, and I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the story how I went.
And here's
through
the
it.
thing, people. I'm not here to sit up here and just dog Central State. But I'm telling you what is going on up there where people have to be held accountable because you lost just like
Shit.
there's a district, people, you have school districts that lose good people. They lose good people in their district.
Mhm.
And your district goes down from that point
Correct.
because you're losing good people. So Central State, in the essence, they lost a good person because you were giving them majority of your day,
Correct.
all of your days for little pay.
A little.
Little, I know. A little pay.
Emphasis.
But you were, like you said, you were flipping kids. I had kids interested because
Right.
of you.
Oh, you,
Them
yeah.
talking to you. Not me persuading them, but you talking to them.
Right.
And it was just, when you told me what was going on, I was like, what? Like, what happened?
Mhm. So
Like, how they do that?
so fast. So I got laid off. I had a letter and everything. Laid off. Okay. So Ohio at Will State, whatever. So I heard some things. I never even talked to the head coach. Never even talked to the head coach.
Is he still there?
No, he's down at
I thought he was gone.
Florida Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah. So fast forward to last season. I mean, it blew up. Everything blew up. You know what I'm saying? One of the guys I brought in, the head coach made him the defensive coordinator, and he was honest. He said, "Man, look, this is what's happening. Hey, man, I'm taking this job." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, you should. This is what you want to do." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you not to take it.
Yeah, we ain't
Right.
tripping.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I got other
Took it
stuff
off.
going on.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, he said, I'm going to take the job. I said, good, man. But I'm like, hey, be careful. You know what I'm saying? And I won't get into it, but he was a scapegoat
Yeah.
when it all blew up. First year coaching.
Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like Lovie Smith with the Houston Texans.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely.
Like Lovie Smith.
That's real.
How they did
That's
him.
real.
How
Oh, man.
you accept the job. Like, they're using you. They're gonna fire you in 2 years. You know this.
You know this.
But okay.
But the thing I don't like, and I love HBCUs. All my family went to HBCU. But the thing I don't like about HBCUs is we treat each other like the PWIs do. Like they treat us. You see what I'm saying? I guess my expectations are a little bit higher for HBCUs when it comes to handling each other.
Each other.
You see what I'm saying? But it's the same cutthroat deal that the PWIs do.
Now, are you saying this for Central?
I'm talking about HBCUs in general.
general.
Yes. I've heard
Stories.
I've heard
because I'm
stories,
sure
I've
you
seen
had a
stories.
lot of friends
Right.
that played in the league and have gone back to try,
Correct.
or guys that played in Michigan State are now coaching in the coaching ranks, maybe at some HBCUs,
Right.
and dealing with a lot of issues with some of the HBCUs.
Correct.
I get it.
So, I mean, and it's changed. The climate has changed, the HBCUs. But at one point, I was looking like, man, this is crazy, man. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And we want these kids, we want our kids to come to HBCUs, but we have to treat them like they're one of ours. We have to take care of our own kids
Exactly.
if we want them to come to HBCUs.
Now, this, like I said, this is not a bash on. I'm not
No.
bashing Central State.
No.
I'm just stating the facts of what went on, and you're losing a person of Brandon's magnitude that can go in the living room and recruit kids and get and boost your enrollment,
We understand.
boost the economy by winning. When you win, people come to games.
Correct.
People come to games when you win. That's just facts.
Sponsorship.
That's money coming into the school. When you win, that boosts the enrollment. When you win, that boosts the atmosphere, and everything is up. So that's a win for Central State. That's a win for Xenia. And when you don't do that, when you got somebody in there that nobody knows, because like right now, I've told you before, I'm a high school varsity football coach, if you don't know. And we're number 59 in the country getting kids into school in the country. And since you've been gone from Central, I have not seen a Central State coach in our office. And he's 30 minutes away, if that. And they have not been in there to see us. They not this year, none of the time. We did our showcase, they didn't come. I haven't talked to them. And we have 3 kids on their team right now.
Mm-hmm.
3 kids, 2 linemen and another kid.
They got Jordan. What's his name? Jordan.
Jordan Benjamin.
Yep.
Nick, my
Baller.
boy Nick Dennis is on there. And it's like, how you not come to our school and I got guys.
I mean, Southwest Ohio, period,
Yeah.
is full of talent. That's just
But
talking
when
about
they take
Southwest.
away a guy like you, who knows how it's done, and you can say, hey, okay, you go here, you go, hey, listen, man, I got a guy over here. I know you know every coach in this Southwest area.
Mm-hmm.
You about know every coach. You rub elbows with all these guys. So you can push them and point them in the right direction. And you can you could have helped bring Central State to another back to where it was.
Hey man, had I got the head coaching job, man. So the issue with that part was that was my very first interview. So you remember when I said at the age of 31 I'm behind, as opposed to the age of a 21-year-old who who's not playing professional ball. I was behind. That was my very first real interview when I interviewed for the head coaching job, and I bombed.
Right.
I flopped. I'm done. I mean, I tell you, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Well, I'm an interviewing machine now.
Oh, yeah.
But that I flopped, and there were a couple people on the panel just like, this the worst thing that could have happened because they really wanted me to be the head coach. But as far as presentation, all that stuff, man, academic plan, I still have all that stuff. I know what it takes. I know how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to say, he beat me to it.
You don't feel like you did well.
Yeah.
So it was a panel of about 4 or 5 people. Man, I was getting asked stuff like Title IX and certain sexual harassment situations because that was a big issue
Right.
with for the previous. Well, I don't want to say the previous coaching staff, but that was happening with the previous coaching staff. But I was just caught off guard with some of the questions, and I'm like, yo, I'm here to let y'all know what I can do. You guys are asking me questions about
Things they would never do.
I wasn't a part of it.
I wasn't a part of, and I have no clue. And like I said, those are all what's going on, baby? Those are all questions that were written down already, you know. And I'm like, hold on, y'all, wait a minute. I'm getting hit. So now it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
But at that point, like I said, first interview, I'm like, man, this is crazy, man. But I got this plan right here that I know works. I've experienced it. I've been through it myself. But we can't get to that part. You see what I'm saying?
Administrative.
Correct.
Again, okay, sometimes, and I understand in interviews, you're interviewing people and some people don't do well in interviews. But then also, I'm looking at your history,
Right. Oh,
your record.
we were people interviewing for that job. I won't say no names, but a lot of Ohio State ties, millions of dollars could have been allocated to Central State.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I know it.
I believe you.
So I mean, it was a lot. Central State football, well, athletics really could be in a position right now with the right hire. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, there were some Ohio State ties that would have bought millions of dollars to Central State. I know for a fact.
Right.
I know them.
I know you do.
You know what I'm saying? And so I knew the plan. And so it's unfortunate that
So, my bro.
it's unfortunate that they missed out. And it's just the way it is, man. But that's an example when you bring people who are not from this area
Right.
here and they don't know the landscape of things. Like, there's no way that Ohio State shouldn't be a part of Central State right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way that we shouldn't have equipment, Ohio State's old equipment, because they get stuff every year, or every 2 years, every 3 years.
Yeah, that
Like,
gym is
there's no
amazing.
way. Like, nobody really knows to do that stuff because they're just not from here. And then, I mean, it just is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It's just not from here. I mean, if I go down to South Carolina somewhere, I don't know the landscape over there as a leader, as a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, that's just what it is. So, unfortunately, you know, those things have happened. But I believe they have somebody there now who I think can get the job done. He seems pretty solid, and I've heard good things about the coach. So, hopefully this year.
That's good stuff, you
Yeah.
know, for you to even just, you know,
Say that.
to say that.
Right.
You know, even to speak on that.
You have to say that.
That even though how they did you, that you can speak highly of the person that's in there now, because I think you wish well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got to understand, my goal was to ride coaching until the wheels fell
Oh
off.
yeah.
Because I'm an assistant athletic director at Wittenberg University, and they just got a $50 million facility. So how am I going to be mad at Central State?
I have a good friend. We have a good friend. We have a good friend that said, and if so, they get fired. They're going back to Wittenberg. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm saying I'm gonna go back to Wittenberg.
Right.
I love it there.
I got a question about his playing day.
Go ahead.
So, was there any stigma added? So when you was undrafted, when you went to the Chargers, when you thinking of the draft picks that come in that year and the veterans on the team, was there any stigma? Was there any type of tumultuous situation you had to go through during that process?
I had to bring donuts from Krispy Kreme every Friday. I think that's why Krispy Kreme my favorite donut.
They
I
didn't
mean,
know.
I think I had to spend like I think one time we went on a away trip. I spent like $500 at McDonald's to get the whole team some McDonald's.
You gotta do what you gotta
Yeah,
do.
do what you got to do, man. And it's, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's just a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? And
But people don't know also, I'm gonna come back to Central State, but what people don't know about drafting, you getting undrafted was really in your benefit.
right, that,
Because what people don't know, if you going in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round,
it's
you might get cut.
wide open.
Yeah, you might get cut. If you get, it's like now when you get undrafted, but you know, and I want everybody to understand, when you get undrafted, it's like college now. Now you can go, you can see who got who on what roster.
Oh, okay.
You know, where can I go and where do I fit in on this roster? So if the Jets are talking to me and the Jets got your D tackle, they got 6 D tackles, it don't look good for me going to the Jets. If Baltimore only got 4 D tackles and one's a 13-year veteran, and the second one is a 10-year veteran, hey, I might want to go to Baltimore. My chances of getting there are higher than going to the Jets. You know, even the Jets might be offering a little bit more money.
Knowledge.
I'm gonna go over here because, you know, it's better suited for me. It fits me. They run the defensive scheme that I like to play in, and I can get on the field because that's the whole objective. Because after 3 years, and you're not on the field, it's over.
Trouble.
Because they don't see what they don't want to do. NFL don't want to do. After 3 years, they got to pay you a pension.
After 3 or after 4?
It's 3 years and 3 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they got to get you out of there.
You got to.
The average career is 2 to 3 years.
And so what they'll do, they'll string you along to see if you developed into what they want. And if you don't, they'll waive you.
Wow.
They'll get rid of you. You know, you're hoping for somebody else to pick you up, but then you done did 3.5 years of your life, and at this point now,
Now, mind you, it's not just 3 years; it's 3 active years.
yes,
Oh,
active. That's what I'm saying.
Active
too. I'm
years.
sorry.
Active, yes.
Active.
So I could be on practice squad,
Yeah, and it don't count.
and it don't count. See, my first 8 weeks at San Diego was on practice squad. My last 8 weeks were on the active roster, so that counted as a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But if you, it's 3 years and 3 games,
Bad.
3 active years.
You gotta be.
That was happening like
I
that.
got one question for you, Brandon. Do they have life coaches though for y'all?
Yeah. So every team has a what's the title?
Motivator.
Not a motivator, but oh man, that's CTE. See, right? But every team has a guy,
Okay.
and he brings in people every week
Okay.
during the summer and during the season. They
Okay.
ain't talking about financial stuff. I mean, they talk
Okay.
about everything.
Okay.
Everything. So yeah, they have a guy.
Somebody
And they're
just
doing
asked
that
me
now in
a
college.
good question.
And all the big schools are doing that now. They have someone come in and speak to them. And but there's a budget for that.
Well, he's on salary. That
Yeah,
guy's
he's on salary.
He's
He's
on
on
salary. Yeah.
I'm saying in
Yeah.
college, they're bringing guys in, and they're like at UC now. There's a guy, Coach Peterson. Coach Peterson was an Ohio State guy, a good dude, older guy, and now he's down at UC and he's over the NIL. He's hooking guys up with the NIL deals, getting them money, for just their name, like, and image, or name, image, and likeness.
When it comes to that stuff, man, they're gonna pay to keep themselves out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's
So
gotta
now
happen.
they've just, like college, they've just, what they did was just legally say, hey, now we can just pay you guys. Because Texas A&M is paying offensive linemen $50,000 a year to come.
So here's the issue. I know we're not getting on that, but the issue is with the NIL, NCAA is not paying players still.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Somebody else here.
Somebody else is. That's how the NCAA is getting us off.
Yeah.
The NCAA is not going to pay players, and that's the issue that nobody's talking about.
Right.
Do y'all understand? For the clearinghouse, the eligibility center, at one point it was $90-something a person to sign up. You have to sign up.
You have to sign up.
Now I'm gonna just do a
Do
little
the numbers.
quick math. So it's about $90 times 600,000.
Let's go Ohio State. Let's go Ohio State. Say,
No. 600,000 football players.
Right.
Right there. That's 54 million. That's just football players. That's every year.
They understand the numbers.
You see
So
what
I
I'm
was going to say,
saying?
just at Ohio State, there's roughly, in athletes alone, there's roughly what? Maybe 10,000 athletes?
Possibly. How many sports do they have?
Shit. A lot. They got
Everybody.
everything.
Possibly.
They got everything. They got maybe 5,000 athletes.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the numbers there just alone. And now you think of every big school or every school possible,
that do you.
because that goes down to Central State.
That's
It goes everywhere.
That's D1. That's D2. I mean, that's everywhere.
Clearinghouse.
You have to pay the $90 in order to get to the clearinghouse. You have to go through the clearinghouse. I don't know what the SAT.
Now, has that price been raised since you did it?
I don't know. Well, since
Now,
I did it in
you
high
did it,
school,
right.
no, I knew 3-4 years ago it was
That
$90.
price, okay.
And I went online. I said, well, what's the average of high school football players that come out every year who want to go play in college? Roughly 600,000.
Because we tell all our kids, you got to register for clearinghouse. You got to get in for clearinghouse.
Got to.
You got to do it. That's the only way. I mean, y'all know everything's up. You know, that's the
So
move.
it's $90 for American, $150 if you're Canadian.
Listen to you. Look at you. Fact checker. The
Wait.
fact man.
450,000 Ohio State getting if they got 5,000 athletes. 450.
So that's the NCAA.
I mean, the NCAA. I'm saying Ohio
Yeah,
State athletes
right.
that signed up coming.
So
in.
everybody's talking about the NIL, yada yada. This is cool,
They got the money.
but NCAA is not paying the players.
Wow.
Right.
What are we really talking about?
Right.
I mean, how good is the NIL really?
Now, question is there. Now,
Canadian or not. And if you're not American or Canadian.
you look at what they're going to do now in the NCAA. And everybody got to understand it's about money. Getting USC and UCLA, where now they're just making these two big conferences. That's what it's going to come down to in the next maybe 4 years or
4 or
so.
5 years going to be ESPN and Fox, 2 conferences.
That's it. That's it. And Big Ten's about to get $1 billion network deal, where every school's going to get $100 million. $100 million. Come on, that's crazy.
I mean, it is no longer about any type of education.
No.
And that's the part that really bothers me a lot, man, because everybody's not going to NFL. Everybody's not going to get an NIL deal. Everybody's not going to benefit from the billions of dollars that the NCAA is
It's
making.
gonna get.
And that's why I always try to tell players, I said, look, man, there's only a few things that cannot be taken from you, and that's that piece of paper and the knowledge that you gain
That receipt.
at all times, at any time. They cannot be taking houses, cars, money, all that stuff can be taken from you, man. But that knowledge, a piece of paper,
The MVP card. That's what I call it.
yeah,
That
it
NBA,
cannot.
that let you cut the line at the club. That's how I look at it. In my language, in my
That's real.
terms.
That
Oh,
absolutely.
you got the MVP card? Come on,
Yeah.
now. Come on.
So
now.
if I got an opportunity to go get some type of education for free, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got to put in the work, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, you're doing something you love. I mean,
Don't let them pimp you.
don't let them
You
pimp
pimp
you.
them.
I still got contacts from Michigan State. I network my butt off.
Smart dog.
Right, absolutely. We got a whole Facebook group.
I know you do.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and that's one of the things that got me into the community. I used to do college day programs at Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? We were over high school kids at the age of 20, 19, 20. You see what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of that stuff came from. But I still know people. I still got contacts. I mean, the biggest thing about college is not classes. It's not what you. It's about how you live and how you survive on your own. Yes, it can be done by not going to school, but when you go away to school and you figure it out, that's what college is all about. It's about networking. It's about figuring out what you want to do. It is not about going to class every day. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It just is what it is. That's what I learned. I had about 2 classes that really mattered when I went to Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even in my major right now. I went and got my master's in sports administration. So, you know, I always like to encourage people to go to college, you know, but not the expense to where you're just going to be dead broke.
Speaking
You
of
know what I'm
college, here's a question. I know everybody, people don't know this. The core of your family, your dad, your brother, your mom passed some years ago, but your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, everybody got a master's degree.
I was the only person in my family that didn't have a master's until
That's real.
until 2020.
Everybody
That's
has
when I
a
got my
master's
master's.
degree.
That's when I got my master's. So I was the only one that didn't have a master's. I went on ahead and got it. So
Education is not talked about, not just preached. Is go get it.
correct.
Yeah. Demonstrate.
Go get it. It's demonstrated.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
You know, because you still got folks in families where they ain't never had a college graduate, a college attendee.
That's right.
Where everybody in your family, because you know, of course, and if you don't know, I know his family very, very well. And when you sit over there and you listen to them talk, everybody speaks
Oh yeah.
and enunciate
Yeah.
every word. They're very knowledgeable of what they're talking about. And it's just, I think it's just a powerful thing, you know, that speaks volumes for you and for who the person you are, because you were raised by a village of your family.
Absolutely. Everybody paid each month for me to go to Chaminade.
He has an Aunt Carolyn, your Aunt Carolyn, who will say some choice words to you
Man.
while she's watching the game. But everybody, again.
To me, I'm
Yes.
playing.
Yeah. And we'll bet against it.
Right.
And he said, I love what he said, and I want folks to miss that. Everybody in the family kicked in
Yeah.
for him to
Come
go
on.
to his school.
Come on.
Well, I was gonna make it.
That's
Man.
a sacrifice.
'Cause
Everybody took care. Everybody pitched in. I was there. I watched it.
Wow.
I watched it. Everybody pitched in. Everybody took care of Brandon. I'm gonna tell you. Brandon would come home from school and want to go out, and man, we got the same size shoe. Brandon called me, "Hey, I need some shoes to get in."
Shoes, some hard
And they'll be in
bottles.
the car. They'll be in the car. They'll be in the truck. Go ahead, open the back seat and get them out.
Get him out.
That's just that was my
Absolutely.
contribution.
Absolutely.
To Brandon.
That's the
You
village.
know.
So what people don't realize, I've been knowing Kerry Bird, Ray, all them guys since I was in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
When they were coaching at Jefferson, I used to go to the practice. I used to go to 2-a-days. Who does that?
Yeah.
Let's go to 2-a-days willingly.
But he was big. He was just as big as all
Right.
the freshmen we had.
Come on.
And I'm joking with him. He's joking. We're having a good time. So I watched him grow up
Love to be around.
and watch him be a man. Now,
So hold on, there's one more thing I want to say about recruiting. I got to get this off. I got to let people know, especially kids. When you're getting recruited, understand and realize how many times coaches ask about your grades.
yeah,
They only ask that one time because once you give them what they need, that's all they got. Coaches are not recruiting you for your grades.
No.
My defensive line coach, Brad Long, when I went to Michigan State, he said, I got to play the best player that's going to keep me, my job, and support my family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he told me in that recruiting room.
Wow, actually told you that.
Yes.
Wow.
He said, I recruited kids. I said, look, I'm not here for your grades. I'm here for you to play ball. But it's your responsibility to use me and use Central State as much as possible. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine.
See, that's what I don't like about some of these coaches. They're not being that honest.
Right.
I'm not here for your grades.
Exactly.
Why am I going to this prestigious school and I got a 2.1?
That's right.
We're not here. You're not going to school for your grades. You're going to school for your ability. But you have to understand that
you gotta
and
know
take
the game.
advantage of what you can get for free. That's what
Wow.
that's what kids and parents need to understand. I
I
have to
tell
get that
the
off my
kid
chest.
now, like they'll be talking, because Marcus Freeman from Dayton is the head coach at Notre Dame. So I have a kid say, oh, coach, Notre Dame sent me a letter. Put that away, son. You're not going there. You're not going. You're going to have a 3.0 today.
Yeah, you ain't no
Coach,
way.
Yale,
No,
literally,
don't
I swear
do
to God.
it.
Yale sent me some information on the camp. Go there. Don't worry about that. Don't worry
Save
about
your
that.
money.
Yeah,
Save your time.
save that
Save
traveling
your time.
expense. You're not going to Yale.
Amen.
Don't worry about
You're
it.
not going-
Don't worry about
Can
it.
I add, Kerry, one of the things I think when you talk about education anyway, it's a receipt why you want to get that degree. It's a receipt that I went to this school, I went to Michigan State, and people want to see that receipt. And so education is a passport and a lifeline. But can you share this with the audience? Now, working with all these kids, I work with Montgomery County. I work from Chaminade down. Boom. Why is it that the young men that I know that went to Chaminade, and if they made it and graduated from high school, at about a 90% clip, they graduate from college. Why do you think that is? I wanted to ask you that. Why do you think that most of them kids who do make, because we know a lot drop off from that freshman to sophomore year. That's why we did the freshman club there to get them to that sophomore year.
Right.
But I went to Chaminade's graduation one time that first year when I worked with Coach Colvin, and like 90% of the boys graduated. So what do you think that attributes to?
You said 90% graduated.
Graduated, yeah, no, where they graduated from high school and they were going to college. They weren't going to the streets. Like a lot of time, it was like it seemed like to me at Chaminade was the 80-20% rule. The 80-20 says that 80% wanted to do something with their life and the other 20% was struggling. But what would you say to that?
I want to answer that after him, if you don't mind.
So one of the biggest things I realize is a lot of times it has to do with the home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to even say single parent or 2-parent home. That matters, but it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? But it has everything to do with the home and what's going on. I would never say that kids who go to Chaminade are better than any other kids, because at the end of the day, a majority of these kids can't help their situation. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the best answer would be is just the home and how you value education. Everybody doesn't value education, unfortunately. But I mean, it's just shit. This is the way it is. You know what I mean? So the biggest thing for me is the home.
Yeah.
Home.
I look at it like this. I've always said this. If a child sees daddy or mama rolling a blunt at the living room table, that child gonna roll a blunt eventually. If a child sees mom and daddy getting up going to work every day, more than likely that child.
They ain't gonna do nothing.
Well, I disagree. More than likely that child, if they're in the structure, don't get me wrong.
It's not 100%.
In a structured home, nothing.
They gonna tell you don't know what you're
Nothing-
doing. You
nothing's
wasting your time
100%.
working.
But a structured home,
90%.
that child is going to go to work also, because they're understanding the work ethic.
That's right.
If a child sees degrees on the wall, and the education is expressed every day in that household, then that child, in most cases, they go on to college and they understand this is the pecking order. This is what I have to do. This is how it goes right here. And at Chaminade, a lot of those families are homes with people with degrees.
Oh yeah, they got the receipts.
They got the receipt. They got the receipt.
Yeah,
So-
when you get down, I want to just.
So that's what that's what I see.
Yeah.
That's what I see. You know, for me being, you know, my wife, Chaminade graduate. Her people, her family, her parents, graduates. So that was her. She followed suit on that. I was a guy who my mother worked hard and hustled. Kendall made a thing on Facebook the other day talking about, you know, Dayton is one of the most, you know, underrated places in the country as far as hustlers. And I said, a hustle is a hustle. A hustle doesn't mean that he's talking about you in the streets.
Absolutely. No, that's real.
A hustle is a hustle.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
It's a go
and
get.
it's a go getter. A hustle's a hustle.
This was a hustle.
And that's what I was talking about. A hustle's a hustle. And my mother was a hustler. And I watched her hustle, and it made me hustle. You know, not just have a job, but let me get a hustle over here on the side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I mean, you just follow what your parents do. You know, we always say, you know, in the school system, Darren, you know, all y'all know. Like Charles Barkley said on TNT, if a kid is somewhere acting an idiot, follow him home and knock on the door. You'll see why he's acting the or he or she is acting the idiot. It's there.
One of the kind of help simplify some of that too is you seeing parents with degrees, and degrees oftentimes can show that you can just follow through with something. It shows that you know how to follow process. Even the process of getting into college, right?
Yes.
So even with a lot of charters and stuff, the way we play with the numbers is this. If there's a process to get into Chaminade, that means the parents who understand how to follow through with process are going to bring them through. Even if a parent didn't have a degree, if they understood process, like I understood process, that's why Sean and Sharon both have advanced degrees, right? Because what I
I told
found,
y'all this brother
so-
was knowledge. I
so,
told y'all.
So that's why kind of
Process mean.
mentoring goes, right? That's why when you have charter schools, it calls mandatory parent participation. Statistics already say if you can get a parent to follow a mandate to participate, then they're already supporting the child. So the reality is that even without you, so long as this child don't get run over by a bus, they probably gonna be okay because they have parents who can follow through. So I don't care what it is. So the answer to that though is the mentoring. Because what I would did with young people with our Youth Empowerment Center is we were the shared parent. So everything but whoop their butt, that's what we would do. So we actually had a young lady in Hilltop that we had her college paperwork sent to our youth center.
Wow.
Because we knew that the parent wasn't going to understand. She was a good person, right? But she didn't understand it. So when you put a stack of paperwork in front of people who want better for their child, but they almost can't read or interpret it, nobody wants to admit that they don't know, right? So when they can't read it and interpret it, and when they don't have anybody to walk with them, then so as you get closer to graduation, everybody you know gonna mess up your numbers, you kick them out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
real.
Oakwood does.
That's
Yeah.
why I have a super
Oakwood
high
does.
graduation
Kick
rate.
'em out. You're not gonna go below that number.
Because
You're not gonna
everybody
go
was
below
there.
that.
I've had young people who went to a loved school around here, and they strung that young man along, got them numbers until it wasn't good enough for him. They started when he graduate, then he ended up, having to take some out the way. So a lot of it is just like I walked with a parent or two on how to follow through.
Right.
But if they don't have the answer to that, because anybody who has somebody who's going to follow through with them is going to be okay. And that's why it does still support what y'all saying. Usually people with degrees understand follow through. They understand that administrative portion that you talked about.
I love it. I love that because that's one of the reasons of going to college. Following through, finishing the process. That shows you can do it. It's not the only way, but it's one of the best ways to do it. I like that.
I got a shout out for you. I want you to tell the crowd how hard it is for you. Not really for you, it's just because most people don't do it. So a lot of people don't give you the credit, but you got to share while you're on live. But it's not about where you've been. It's not about how long you've been in the NFL. It's not about how much money you made. Tell the people how you kept your life clean.
Damn, Tony. That's Tony Ruby, y'all. He's here with us.
He's here.
Julius Ruby Sr.
He's here.
Look, and that's what the folks have to know because a lot of people don't know that. Let them know.
So, because I'm not perfect
No, we ain't
by
said
any
that.
stretch. No, but I've been blessed to have been in certain situations and nothing come of it. You know what I mean? And to understand who I am and what I represent,
Go ahead.
you know, was always important for me. My biggest motto is, because I did have haters, is do not do things because of the haters. Always do things for the people who love you. For the people who want you to do well. Doing
Drop
stuff.
at the gym. He dropped the gym.
Do something for the haters is negative ambition. You see what I'm saying? So for the people who love me, I had a responsibility to uphold and to make sure that they continue to be proud of me.
Say it again.
And
Tell the
they
camera that.
they continue to be proud of me. They continue to want to support me and what I do, and they continue to want to be there for me. It's family, friends, my whole circle. And so that was the motivation of staying clean and staying out of the way, and a lot of blessings.
To say translation, y'all protect fools and babies, right? And when I moved past being a baby and moved past being a fool, when you knew better, you could do better.
Absolutely.
That's right. Sometimes we make mistakes and we get out of that thing.
Right,
But when you knew
right.
better, you could do better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think in Brandon's case, going back to what Kerry said, Brandon had a support system.
Yeah.
Brandon had a support system. I ain't listen to his dad.
Exactly.
I mean, no, Brandon had a support system, and when young people have them type of support systems, that people that's gonna tell you the truth, it makes a difference.
Well, his family was very significant in a part of my life that was, you know, topsy-turvy. And they were really there for me. His aunt, his uncle, his dad, just to be in that atmosphere and for them, you know, to help me when I was too proud to even ask for help. They helped without question. So I just know. So it was, you know, that was my love for the family, where I was like, oh, you know, me and Darren, we like, you know, Brandon, we gonna protect Brandon. We gonna be all right. You know, he knew that.
But let me tell you the type of friends I have. So I think it was after my junior year. Aaron, Steph, we was talking, and they were like, "Oh, you play too high." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What are you talking about?" No, you stand up when you play. I'm like, all right, whatever. We sat down and turned on the game and went play for play. And these motherfuckers told me, play for play, how terrible I was. You know what I'm saying? And
corrected it.
my thing is, get you some friends like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not okay friends.
Not
Yeah.
okay friends.
And it's okay if they smart.
Y'all know my friends. They could care less that ever played in the NFL ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, they'd be with me, they'd be like, man, fuck you, that's Brandon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, you know,
Talk about it like a dog.
man, I'm telling you, right in your face. But I always encourage people, hey man, don't get a yes man, don't get get a you ain't shit kind of guy.
What I post today.
Yeah.
Wisdom, hashtag wisdom rules. Surround yourself with people who genuinely love you, but care more about your healthy growth than your hurt feelings.
Absolutely.
See, I told you this guy right here, man. This guy right here.
Absolutely.
And on the flip side of that is because you kept your character intact, so you can really literally go in a car lot, Jeff Chevrolet or whatever. I'm Brandon Mckinney. I'm one of signed footballs. See, that's what's keeping your character new. See, what happened is because athletes didn't understand the long haul of being obedient just to the lifestyle,
Right.
that you can do whatever you want to do, because none of us in here made it like you did. No matter how much money you ever made, but
Right.
just making it meant something. But most athletes don't understand to keep that lifestyle in order to always get paid. Because respect
Always. Even when you're done playing.
Even when you
always get paid.
always get paid.
It's key buyers.
That's real.
Still gonna get paid.
Amen.
Because of your name and your lifestyle,
Yeah.
and you cherished it, you always get paid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's the problem. You know, like I said, they ain't throwing darts at Central State. That's the problem with Brandon not being the coach.
Yes.
With Brandon from where he came from, and not having Brandon, and building that capacity with BJ
They
Kids.
lost a
All of
gym.
them young people.
They lost the gym.
Yeah, they definitely lost the
They
gym.
lost the
They
gym.
definitely lost the
It
gym.
can still come back around.
That's a question. I don't know if he wants to get back into coaching now that he's in the administrative role, which is something he wanted to do.
This administrative role is great, man.
and the longevity in it. You know, when
Correct.
you're good at it.
Yeah.
You know, playing for the long game. But what you were talking about, Tony, that's called protecting your brand. I do a little workshop with young people talking about protecting your brand. And if we understand marketing, like me, I protect my brand. I don't have money, but my reputation will get me money. At
I
all
told
times.
somebody today,
I
my
can pick up the
reputation
telephone.
speaks for himself.
Absolutely.
Best
So
thing
I
I-
can pick up the phone because if they understood protect your brand, I said it's a reason why when people do certain things that they want you to strip that swish off your shirt, right? Because Nike understands, I don't care how great you are, our brand is greater than you. Period. So if I treat my brand, that's how I treat my brand. That's how I tell young people and who stand next to you. Right? They don't even want, if you go running with certain people, they might damage their brand.
Yeah, I gotta tell folks. All I got is my name and my balls. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. And that's what I'm gonna roll with. Brandon, a little something off that topic. Tell me something that's, because I'm gonna tell you a passion of yours, something that you've done after your playing days that you pursued, you started doing, that you just, first you were sending us videos of what you were doing. We're like, man, what Brandon do? Okay. And I'm a Tasty Bees barbecue.
Tasty Bees. Big Bees.
Big
Tasty.
Bees. Big Bees Tasty.
Tasty barbecue.
Brandon's barbecue. That's what I said. All right, Brandon.
Tasty
Brandon.
Hey, man, look, man, I got
Brandon's barbecue.
Big Tasty, whatever you want. So, man, that's crazy how it came about. So, when I was at Central, I was like, when the season up, I'm gonna start a food truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start a food truck. Got laid off. I said, boom, let's do it now. You know what I'm saying? So we just
Because you like grilling.
Yeah, I like grilling. I like smoking food. I like cooking.
Boy, man.
Yeah, and I come from a family of
Cookers.
cookers.
Only eat a couple people's food.
Yeah.
Grams,
Yeah,
your aunts,
right.
and my wife.
There's only like 2 people potato salad I eat, and one of them was my aunt's.
Yeah.
And so that just came about, man. I was just at home during the pandemic and just started cooking more.
Creativity.
Yeah, and the next thing you know,
Getting orders.
Yeah, I'm getting orders, and then
Was that a salmon kebab you fed me that
so
time?
hold on now, I'm gonna get there. So I'm getting orders, and then I'm getting the food truck. And next thing you know, we at Tay's event, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Had no clue, but a line. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cook it. Let's get it out. Let's get it
She was
out.
making some
Hustler.
hustler.
So I'm gonna get there. So it's funny. I own the barbecue food truck, but our number one seller on there are the jerk salmon bites.
Yes, there it
And
is.
listen to me, man. Listen to me, man. People go crazy over 'em. And I'm not saying just because it's mine. This is really what happens, man. Like, people go crazy over these salmon bites. And I had no clue it would take off like this. Like, we went to Cincy Soul last year in Cincinnati.
I was there.
180 orders of salmon bites, man. Wow. We sold more orders of salmon bites than we did ribs.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I remember when you were at Welcome Stadium when Tay did her thing down there, and you were sitting there. It was hot. You were sitting in the back with that towel over you, like. I just went to the back and sat down, like, "Come get my water. Get my water. I'm privileged. Let me get my water back here."
But yeah, man, it just took off, man. We looking to get in a bigger truck now,
Really,
and shoot, man.
expansion.
Yes.
That's one of them things where you want to just take like a little, and then you take your finger. You even want to get
Yeah,
the
get the
spices.
dill sauce. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't have everything. I can have that this week.
So, you know,
Lifesaver.
the goal is to actually have somebody run the truck. You know what I'm saying? So we can actually go out a couple times a week, do all the festivals and all that good stuff. So that's why we
Oh,
talking.
he heard you.
That's
He
why
heard
we
you.
talk. I heard you earlier.
Yeah, trust me. I know he
Trust
heard
me.
you.
It's a real leak for you.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, that's the goal, man. I mean the goal is the goal is to not be an administrator by the time I'm 45. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll be
See?
40 next year.
Hey,
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm getting
Young
there.
gunners.
I'm getting there. But you know, that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the eight.
Can we with Big B's barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
which you know I fully support. Is there anything else you want to talk about that's great, having big in your life that you want to share with everybody?
Nah, I ain't want to share it with everybody just yet.
That's what my mama told me.
You told me when I talked to you earlier,
Are we-
hey man, you can talk about anything. You come at me with anything.
I didn't know you put me on the spot.
Hey, you don't put me
You
on
put me on the spot.
You
Put me on the
can't talk about
spot. I can talk about it. I just don't want to talk about it. Huh?
See, it ain't
Why not?
ready,
I'll
man.
talk about it.
This ain't ready
I
for
know
the
you're going
Hawks.
to talk about it.
So can I talk about it?
You can talk about it.
Okay, so
The
for y'all who don't know, Brandon is expecting his first child next month.
Oh, that's
Boom.
That's
That's
gangsta.
boom.
My dog.
Wow.
That's awesome. Parenting is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I got to tell, you know, some of our other friends who don't have kids, it shows you a different love.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you a totally different love for, you didn't know you could love as much as you do.
Right.
First off, we tell them, shut up, you don't have no kids. You don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
If you ain't got none, you can't experience what we're
and
talking
I
about.
think you're going to be a great father.
Husband.
Yes.
Don't listen to that.
All that.
Yeah,
Come on,
All
Hal.
that.
Please don't leave that one out.
Come on.
When he got married, he went,
Come on, you
Y'all
got
seen
you know.
Brandon?
I went 0 dark 30 when I got married.
Absolutely. You got
Brandon
it.
said, Brandon called me when he got married.
Yeah, that's
Come get
what's
these
up.
shoes, man. All this stuff got to go. She said, I need that room.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's how you maintain it, though.
Yeah.
If,
Keep that on,
if you don't go
man.
dark
Balance.
at some point,
Balance. That's balance.
Balance is a mug.
You gotta be
Listen
able to
to me, man.
balance.
I'm learning a lot.
Come on.
You never stop. One thing you never, ever stop learning. Boy. I don't care.
You never.
I don't care, man, because it's always new experiences, man. I had a trainer tell me one time. He said, "I've been in this game for 40 years, and I'll never say I've seen it all, but I've seen most of it."
Yeah.
That's true.
Never,
I'm
man.
51 and still learning. I wasn't in the room with Ray Lewis, man.
Right.
Come on, man. Can you imagine how fun that was? Shaq? For
yeah.
real,
Man,
man.
who you telling?
Ray Lewis and Ed Reed was some of the most.
I can imagine.
They
Come on,
they
bruh.
studied, man, so much, man. They came in on Wednesday. Wednesday, for people who don't know, is like the Monday in the NFL.
Okay.
And so when we got there on Wednesday, man, they just knew the whole game plan.
I'm telling you,
And
man.
you'll be
They
back-
do the whole thing.
And you'd be like, I'm so behind right now.
Yeah, I'm
it's just
excited.
7:30 in the morning on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Their desire to win.
their
That's
desire to
success,
win, their
man.
desire to be great,
character,
man.
man.
And
Yeah.
as you
Great.
get older, you have to understand where this guy. See, I learned that my 7th year in the league. You see what I'm saying? I knew where this guy was going to be. I knew how to work everything. I'm like, man, why ain't nobody telling me this? You know, I'm just out here anticipating, guessing, and all this other stuff, man. I get old, I get to about 29, 30, which is, you know, up there in the NFL. And I'm like, man, this is easy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to stress myself out no more.
Right.
And so, you know, you just take that over into life, man. And
Yeah.
How difficult is it to learn a game plan and know a playbook?
I'll give you one.
Idea.
We had mini camps. It's only 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They put in 75 defenses.
You better know.
You better know.
You better know.
You better know when you get on
Don't
the
go
field,
to
they're
the
going to
wr-
call it.
Don't
you
go to the
know it.
wrong
So,
look.
bro, I mean, how do you
Earn that
learn
money.
it? They have just like just
So-
a graph set up for you?
No, you go in the meeting and you go over each play, and each defense has all kind of moving parts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Defensive linemen typically are easier. Linebackers, you have to know defensive linemen and cornerbacks. Cornerbacks, you got to know linebackers and your position. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, ball is ball. You know what I mean? So if you know ball, generally, you're going to know a lot of things. But when it comes to getting to the intricate details of the game and learning different stuff,
Yes, sir.
it's a different level. It's a different
It's
level.
another
man.
level.
It's a totally different
Like
level.
I can give you a defense you can run. It's called Reduce 63 Sky. So it could be 3x1 is over front, 2x2 is an under front. Was it 2x2 or 2 backs, 2 tight ends could be over front. I'm sorry, a reduced front. That's all in one play. I ain't even give you the coverage.
You got to recognize it.
I didn't give you the
recognize.
I didn't give you the
No
coverage.
coverage, no
I didn't give you the coverage. I just gave you the setup of the defense.
Right.
So now you got 3 defenses and defensive fronts in one.
Right.
Now, I ain't even give you the linebackers or the DBs jobs. You see what I'm saying?
You basically just looking at what the offense is doing, and that's how you guys are lining up.
Correct. So when the offense come out, and you got to know it like that.
Right.
Because when they come out, them big motherfuckers, hey.
They ready.
I got a follow-up question. So when you got like Tom Brady out there, he see what you doing, and then he changes everything around again.
But see, everything. Well, and I don't want to interject, but
Yeah.
Ray Lewis was their quarterback
Yeah.
at Baltimore.
Oh,
yeah.
So understand, he was going against Tom and Peyton.
Right.
So when Peyton made a check call, Ray made a check call.
We
so you
always
had to know the check
Right.
Yeah.
when he made that call.
Always had checks. Always had checks.
Yeah.
Always had checks when
Over
played.
how many fans screaming over all these
You gotta be able to
You
do
gotta-
it.
That's hard.
we
Well,
went
listen,
so far.
Peanut, I'm gonna tell you this.
It's real,
You
Peanut.
know, but
That's
people
why I
don't
didn't do it.
even at Troutwood,
Okay.
it's very. It just our stuff is very intricate because we tell our quarterback you have the freedom to make the check. If you see this guy coming up on the blitz, you make the check call. You don't make the check call, then you in trouble.
Right.
And I'm not telling you to call and make. We're going to go over that during the week because each week there's a different game plan. It's not as intricate as the NFL's, but we have a game plan each week of, okay, they like to run a 3-4. We want to attack them this way. But if something happen, they go into a forefront, we'll do this, we'll do that. If they bring the safety down, they go to one safety high. We got the post is dead. So I'm telling my quarterback, the post route is dead because that guy's sitting in the middle. So they have to really study what's going on.
Wow.
Receivers.
Here's the crazy part.
It's like how IQ
Here's
again.
the crazy part.
Yes.
We might go into a defense. We might go to a game with about 50 defenses.
Yeah.
And only use how many?
About 5 to 7.
That's it.
This
you
ain't
know
working.
all
Throw it out.
That's it, yeah.
That ain't
But
working.
you know
Throw it
all
out.
50.
Yeah.
All right, Brady,
Yeah, you got to
I
know
got
it
a
because it
question.
might come back later on.
Right.
They said, well, you know, we could do that this game.
In the Super Bowl this year, the Bengals did a decent job of holding the wide receiver that
For
eventually
a
ended
minute.
up going off. What was the like the MVP?
I don't think they did a decent job of holding him up. I think what people understand is,
Well, he didn't go off like he did until
Well,
the
what
end
I'm
of
saying
the
is-
You
game.
talking which
you
one?
know, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Cut.
Well, Cooper Kupp.
At the end of the game, he
Cooper
went
Kupp is a
crazy.
mismatch. Well, first off, they got him playing a slot, so he's a mismatch to safeties and linebackers.
Right.
So most teams have to come in and play with a nickel. Okay, I'm sorry, Brandon, I'm answering. But most teams got to come
You're
in.
right. No, you're right.
So they got to come in and play with
Teach.
a nickel.
My
It was a
question
fatigue
was,
factor.
why
Yeah,
did you
that-
go
right. But the thing of it is, understand this: the Rams are a great team. The quarterback is just a manager.
Yeah, he's average.
He's an average quarterback. The Bengals, I'm not, you know, congratulations because I like Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I like him. In high school, I was working with his dad and stuff. His dad was the OU coach. But let's think about how Cincinnati scored. Let's think about it. One was a trick play. Two was really offensive pass interference. That was it. That was all they did. When Stafford and them, they really didn't do anything because their offense was not, it's not a gauntlet offense. It's like Baltimore, they won it with,
2000.
they didn't have a great quarterback. They had a manager.
You managed the
Who
game.
was the quarterback in 2000 with Baltimore?
It was,
My point. So,
exactly.
Trent,
no,
Trent
2000.
Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer.
To 2000. You know what I'm saying?
But
Our
I'm
D was
saying,
Trent
like,
Dilfer.
when you're out there, okay, and you feel the game's like the other team is getting momentum, right? And they starting to hit cup, and we've been doing a decent job of just stopping him from scoring.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to, should the coach say, look,
So you
we
have
need
to-
to do this, or is it that linebacker or the quarterback for the defense?
It's
who
life.
needs
You got to
make the
figure it
adjustment?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to make the team who can make the best in game adjustments
Yeah.
is the team that'll come out on top majority of the times. You know what I mean? And it's like life. You got to make in-game adjustments in life, man. Hey, something don't go right, you got to pay this bill. You got to make that adjustment, or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it happen.
The thing about Cooper Kupp didn't beat anybody downfield. He's not a stretch guy.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of guy. He's a possession receiver guy. That's why he has so many. His thing is he runs what he does well. What he does really well, he runs good routes.
He runs good routes.
He was in good shape.
Yeah,
Y'all watched that game.
he's in and out of
He
his
wasn't
breaks.
tired.
He gets it. He
at the
gets in
end.
it.
But he
And then
runs
let's be
great
honest,
routes, though.
the Bengals did
And you
not
a
have
linebacker gotta check
a
in.
good defense. They didn't. They should have lost to Tennessee, but Tannehill is terrible too. So but he's going to hang around in there.
You ain't get the
Bengals
star.
defense-
ain't gonna be-
Educate.
Bengals defense is,
Huh?
is serviceable.
The star of a team. Odell had went out, and it just seemed like they should have tripled. I mean, especially when he started getting so busy.
Can't triple team if you ain't got the right personnel. I mean, if you triple teaming, then.
But you got to understand, though. See, you got to
it's gonna be
understand.
another
Yeah.
weapon.
When everybody
Somebody's
say
gonna-
you got to triple team, double team one player, everybody out there get paid.
Everybody can play.
That's right.
The worst receiver can still burn you.
Still can get you.
They gonna have to.
What's the kid from Tampa Bay that balled out in the playoff game last year? See, nobody even remembers him.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the fact that he was a young kid, made a couple big catches,
Yeah.
he still get paid. He's still talented.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
So when it comes to doubling and tripling, man, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Guys just got to step up.
So, as you said something about Cooper Kupp, so you said that he's not going to beat you on speed. What makes a Cooper Kupp great?
His work ethic, his route
He
running.
run them
Okay,
routes.
so you said work ethic because I was holding something. My brain is always working on something different. You said that those guys wanted to be great. Okay, here's the difference. A lot of folks want to be great, but not many folks are willing to become great.
Right.
It's the difference. Shaquille O'Neal, that's be great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying he didn't work, but dude, he's a monster. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
He was an
give it
imposing
talent.
figure.
absolutely, Magic Johnson was a become great.
Yeah.
Wasn't as fast as everybody. Wasn't. So the difference is kind of that the work. You know what I mean? The work in. So I mean, Ray was in the gym. He was in all. You know what I mean? So
Spiritual books,
absolutely. So
everything.
so now he become maybe one of the greatest. You know. But I think that's the difference. Like in life, a lot of times, sports and whatnot, a lot of people want to be great. Those are the guys who don't hit the gym. Those guys who don't hit the playbooks, don't hit the classroom. You know. But to become great, everybody, God, good Lord willing, most people can become great at something.
Yeah.
But be great at something,
Yeah.
Bad boy.
you got to be born at. Just to be great without
Just to be
working.
great.
It's hard to be
Yeah,
great. It's
yeah.
hard.
So you can become great. Everybody can get a little bit of that become great if they want to put in the work.
The most talented people are not in the NFL or the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
I know I can make it.
I know.
Dwight Anderson, you think you good?
I know. I wasn't the best defensive lineman coming out of college. I know I wasn't the best defensive lineman in the NFL. I might have been at the bottom of the barrel, but my work ethic,
Yeah, good stuff.
my
That's that.
willingness to
But
learn.
one thing you could do, you could demand a double team.
Oh yeah, I want a double team. I
And
didn't need. I ain't
that's
like.
all they wanted you to do was demand a double team so Ray and the other linebackers could
GM
run
told
free.
me. GM told my agent. He said, Brandon might not make a whole bunch of plays, but he's gonna be where he's supposed to be every single time. And that alone, what people don't understand, will get you in the door.
And I tell our kids today,
That's good stuff.
the football is played up here.
Yeah.
It's up here.
So,
All this is just physical. Up here is where you got to, and I tell our guys this: the best thing you can do is know where you're supposed to be. If you know where you're supposed to be, that's 90% of the job.
Teach.
That's 90% of the job. If you know you're supposed to have outside containment, you
Contain
better have outside containment.
Come on.
Plain and simple.
Football, for me, football is life, man.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's played in the head, man. I got to be where I got to be.
That's
I
right.
got to see myself.
Right.
And when I don't know if you have the term "play the game in your head." You know what I'm saying?
Say it all the time.
You have to see yourself doing certain things. And it's the same thing as life, and that's what I try to tell younger kids. You got to see yourself being successful. You have to see yourself doing the right things. You have to see yourself in a bad situation and having the ability to get out of it. You see what I'm saying? It's just football and life go so much hand in hand, man. It's ridiculous, man.
You
And
gotta
Brandon,
accept.
I'll add to that. I think the game is played here, but I think it starts here too.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
well,
you know,
yeah,
the game is
yeah,
played
yeah,
here,
yeah.
but it start here because you can play it in your head, but
If
not
you're
have the
scared,
heart to do the play.
The process.
I mean, you don't got the heart to run in that hole. Because I was on suicide watch. I mean, no, seriously, I was like, I'm coming through this hole no matter what. So I think, and one of the things that we teach at Trotwood, when the first thing when I talk to them, I always teach them. I teach them the IZE theory. The IZE theory is prayerize, picturize, actualize. I pray about it, I picture it here, but I gotta act here. It's got to be something else in here that says I'm gonna be unblockable, I'm gonna be unstoppable, and if I hit the ground, I jump right back up. You know, and so that heart, woo-hoo-hoo, because a lot of people ain't pumping blood, they pumping water.
Think about
I
how
don't play with them.
Think
Y'all
about how
ain't behind
crazy-
me, ruler.
think about how crazy you gotta be to play football.
Huh?
Think about I'm 340 pounds. I'm about to run into this
Yeah.
300 plus
60 plus.
man.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's probably 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah. Like how crazy am I?
Yeah.
That's where that is. That's crazy as hell, man.
That's crazy.
That's some of the dumbest shit ever in life. I mean, think about it. I'm about to run into
I'm about
you.
to
You gotta
run
love
into
it.
And I'm about
What I've
to
been saying. You gotta
and
love it.
I'm about to try to manhandle this 6'5", 350 pound dude. Well.
Yeah, he works too.
And he gets paid too. Millions. It's wild, man. It's crazy.
So before I go to this next subject, I just got one thing. I just want to talk about.
Past my bedtime, man.
All you had to
You guys hang with another hour or so. We're gonna wait through something hot here in a second. But I got one thing I want to talk about. One memory of you playing, and that's I believe it was a playoff game against Pittsburgh, Baltimore against Pittsburgh.
He just loves saying that.
I'm sorry. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the games, you know, because I try.
You're not a fan, so why are you bringing
I'm
it
watching the game because Brandon was playing.
Yeah.
He was playing a team I did not like.
It ain't you.
You never had a
It's
favorite
somebody
player.
else.
Y'all beat the hell out of Cleveland
So,
year after year.
It
Never
was
had a favorite player.
Ben
against
Roethlisberger drop back, throw the ball. You got that big old paw up in the air. Got a pick, an interception.
Yeah.
You ever see a dancing bear? A dancing bear now. I jump off my seat. Go, Brandon! Go, Brandon! Go! This mug.
2 steps.
False.
Ball down. The end zone is right there.
Right there.
Yeah, 2 steps.
So can I tell my story?
You was right
So
there.
what happened was I'm coming around. Justin Bannon and Terrell Suggs hit Brock Roethlisberger. Ball pops up in the air. So I'm coming, not expecting it. And so I'm running this way, and I'm like, boom, boom, ball right here. You know what I'm saying? Tipped it. I got it. Now the ball is like all up in here. You know, I was throwing that leg.
He was looking like Jerome Bettis at that point.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Earl Campbell.
And so I took like 2 steps and tripped on myself. So I hit the ground. Boom. All right, hit the ground. And I'm like, oh shit. My big ass tried to get up and got manhandled. But that was the highlight of my career.
Yeah, that was your.
That was, you know, hey, you got a highlight.
Oh man, that was great, man.
And
Look,
he made sure I did not forget it.
That was, you know, one of my highlights for
I
him.
posted every year.
Posted every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Literally.
So that's an awesome thing right there, man.
That was all right.
So right now, gentlemen, I'm gonna switch gears.
I'm gonna
People,
switch to the bathroom.
go ahead.
Want to take a quick break real quick?
But I don't want to lose any viewers.
I can hold.
So I can go right into it.
All right, cool.
Right here with these guys. Brandon gonna go to the facility and pay a couple bills.
He should have left his
He
wallet.
got an NIL deal.
Again, like I said, we're blessed to have a very extinguished panel of gentlemen here tonight of all walks of life. Everybody here has been at some point in time was beating that concrete out there, and they were doing their thing. And at some point in time, God tapped them on the shoulder and said, "Hey, I need you to, try a different path." And in that path and in that journey, they made a lot of strides now. When I tell you, this is like the core of our streets right here that's trying to help our community. These gentlemen right here, not me, these gentlemen right here are the core. There's a few others out there, but that's my problem. Is what I said, there's a few.
Just a few, not enough.
There's a few of thousands out there. And what made me want to bring these gentlemen here, of course, the post that Sean Walton put up on my page. Tony Ruby sent me something this morning, and I immediately hit Tony. Tony, can you come be on the show? Sean, can you come be on the show? I text Shaq, be on the show. Because these are things that we got to talk about. We need our community. We need to step up and start taking charge of what's going on in our community. I'm gonna start with Sean, and they go around. Just tell him about himself. That Tony tell him about himself in a short, maybe 2-minute span. That Shaq tell a little bit about himself, or a lot of sports people want to hear. And I don't want you to click off because this is something that you need to hear. This is something that you need to know. I'm gonna let Darren tell about himself a little bit, just for 2 minutes. We're gonna take about 10 minutes to do that, starting with Brother Sean Walton.
Well, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the past, I've got equipment failure over here. Something just happened to the equipment now. All right, well, I'm going to keep going. I've experienced many different lives. I tell people I've had a Forrest Gump life, so it's not too much that I don't understand a little bit about, you know what I mean? I'm going to say on the upside of things, I started working in community. Back in, about 1988, Shaq, even when I was still ripping and running a little bit, I was still trying to work in community. I know when Shaq first asked me to work with Black Brothers, Black Sisters Involvement, I was running with my big brother, and I told him that he didn't want us because we would bring shame to his organization. Literally, we're going to end up making national news on some foolishness, But, so I end up switching out and working with young people. I guess one thing that I'm most proud of is I actually founded it. Just realized that I founded that with the funds of Community Action Partnership. When I worked for Community Action Partnership, there was not a youth empowerment center. We built a youth empowerment center, and we had a shared parenting concept where we didn't see masses of young people, but what I did, I decided that what would happen if we started at 7 years old and saw the same groups of young people that we could keep until they were 18. Right, so what we did, I asked, at that time we were funded by Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and I wrote them a letter. I told them our kids are transient. Don't make me just serve Trotwood, because they only at Trotwood for a little bit, then they move in here. So if you allow me to serve all of those areas, I can keep the same kids, and I can get you your numbers. I knew it was the numbers for them. So I was able to do that, and we won a couple best practices there, just based upon innovation and based upon our shared parenting approach. If it was what I thought me being a good parent would do, that's what I did for our young people. Went from there, spent a little time at Human Relations Council over there, Community Initiative to Reduce Gun Violence, and Community Police Council. I did youth ministry for 5 years as well. So everything from neighborhood-based work to institutional work, boards and that kind of thing. Not just a brag, but it's just I've got a wide kind of a world view.
Yes.
So a lot of things I made that some folks may not know, I know on the inside. But that's, for now, that's essentially what I do right now. I'm a public speaker, trainer. I not only still reach back and work directly with some young people. One young man in particular, I've decided that I'll get at least a few times a month until my chest never rises again. So I'm gonna invest that to him, and that young man lives in a local housing community. So that's one of the things I'm most proud of, because I'm not gonna just program him. If I can, I'm gonna help raise him. Right. So that's just a little bit.
Tony Ruby.
Well, man, let's just start off and say, man, these are my boys. They got me involved in this, and that's probably Bird and Shaq and Sean that came along with us all. But I ain't gonna sit here and say they got me involved, but I kind of like away from it, not involved as much, and that's just the truth. Only because they taught me so much, and I'm just like Mckinney say, whatever we do, we hustle hard about what we do, and for real about these lifestyles that we live, we really live these lifestyles. But as I'm a studier, just like you study a book of football, whatever. I'm gonna study the thing called life. So even in this thing, when I come from the streets, that's the past or whatever. But when we begin to see that people really didn't care about people, it's real out here. It's real, and it's nothing we can do. You got some of the best talent in the city of Dayton right here at this table. That's just hands down. But it's very disrespectful for people not to understand and give you what you worth. That's just how I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? So most of these guys do what they do and they don't get paid for doing it. And I refuse to do that. I refuse. I don't do it for nobody for you to say, Tony gave this and Tony gave. I don't care. I really don't. I got a family, I got my sons, I got my own family. But this is so sad to see that these great men that's right here is so talented and they don't get what they just deserve. Right. So even when this community is in uproar like this, Shaq and Bird and Sean been knowing how to get this community for real.
Right.
But so even when you call me on here, I usually don't even like to get involved because people just like to talk to be talking. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying I got no big words or none of that stuff, but I'm for real about what I do. When I was in the streets, I was for real about it, and I'm for real about it outside of the streets. But we don't play games, man, when it comes to this neighborhood. So I'm not teaching the reentry. I do the reentry. I do it well. I get guys jobs. I do that well. But what I don't do well is give you credit for what you ain't doing.
Amen.
So that's usually what's going on in the political game, just like the football. Then you'll notice a political game, and it's right here too. It's about what you could do for me, not what we do for the community. And our community is really struggling, man. It's struggling on the simple fact that they have no hope. I mean, we really watch a guy fight on video, man, and take the video watching him fight. See, when I was a fighter, man, we couldn't do that. Somebody gonna break it up, you know what I mean? They waiting on him to die, man. Like, God, man, for real. You literally see this, but I'm watching grown folks see it. You get what I'm saying? So I usually keep my mouth off, and if I'm talking too long, I keep it off because I get upset about it because
I know.
this city is terrible, and it's grown men like all of us at this table. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of hurt things in the city, but these guys right here, they still around it. They still believe in it. You get what I mean? You're not gonna see me doing that no more. That's the truth. You know, if I come up here, I come for real, but I don't chase that, man. I ain't never had to chase money in my life. I've been blessed. I ain't ashamed to be blessed. You get what I mean?
Right.
And I ain't got nothing to share with nobody that I shouldn't have it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we do not play, man, when it comes to this game called life, man.
Right.
And I think this what City has been doing, has been playing, man. You know what I mean? We putting the wrong people in the wrong place. That's just to keep it honest.
Amen. I agree.
You know what I mean? So even when I said about the Central State, you know, his talent is his talent because we care. We really care about this thing. It's not about no money. You know, you need no money. But see, his passion and his heart is really what's going to bring the city to another level.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I tell you this before I close. Sometimes it ain't the message, it's the messenger. And if you don't learn that the messenger is more important than the message, you're going to miss it.
It's the messenger.
I just want to say one quick thing before Shaq says something. So people look at athletes and praise athletes for playing a kid's game.
Ooh.
And then when you got
Ooh.
guys like yourselves talking about raising the kid, your kids is grown.
Grown. I got grandkids.
I know what you do, Shaq.
Yeah.
You doing reentry these are hard jobs to do. Like you talking about taking somebody else that's not a part of you, that's not your blood, and making sure that they're good for little to nothing.
For nothing.
But we praise and expect athletes to do all these great things because they play a kid's game. You gotta understand, people are going to people.
They're going to, yes.
Athletes are they're people. They're just gonna do what they're gonna do. So I just want to say that.
That's good stuff.
And praise you guys. You know what I'm saying? As they say, give you your flowers because you know y'all are what keeps communities alive and well and going. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are the real MVP in my eyes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like okay, my bad. All right.
Not bad, man.
That's good.
It's authentic. Appreciate you.
Wow, that's good, and appreciate that. Well, Marlon Shackleford, I started this group. I guess I'm the OG of this group. I'm the old guy, the seasoned guy. I started this group in 1987. Black brothers, black sisters involvement, which our motto was victory over the streets. and I started working with adults, but they was tripping. I cut them and went to young people, and that's where I've been. I maybe did 2 years. BBIBSI was simply a nonprofit hate group designed to raise the
Nonprofit,
conscious
non-hate.
level.
Nonprofit,
Non-hate. Yeah.
They be the editor.
They was nonprofit, non-hate group designed to raise the conscious levels of young people and young adults in impoverished neighborhoods. And we believe in the Sankofa bird. That's that bird that's moving forward, looking backwards, right? And we really just review the past, analyze the present, and plan for the future. But at the core of BBIBSI, my motto is to keep them alive and free. Being a guy who mama locked him up, I'm not gonna go through all of that, right? Mother locked me up because she wanted to save my life, and it worked. Because when I came out about 17, I've been doing this work ever since, right? So the goal is to keep people alive and free, and to once again to be a hope pusher. Not a dope pusher, a God pleaser, not a crowd pleaser. And so I give it all up for that. I just give it up. My focus is changing now because I really just think that we got to get them younger. You know, we got to get them younger. And I was a part of about 35, 40 guys. About 3 or 4 months ago, for a year we met, and they came up with a curriculum how to start working with young boys when they're younger. Right, and that's where I think I want to put my energy. I want to be more than grandpa. I don't want to do the public speaking. People think I like it. I don't even like the panels. I don't even like doing that stuff no more, man. I really want to get young brothers in a classroom because I do believe we were born males, not men. We will become men when we learn the art and science of manhood. The why and the how. Right, the why and the how to everything that we doing. It has to be a why and a how, and this is hard for people to understand, but a lot of times it's going to take black men to teach black boys. I'm not saying that people can't do it, but I'm just telling you it's something different when that black man walks in that room and he's a man of character. He's a man of integrity, because integrity is non-negotiable. So that's where I'm at, man. I'm going stronger, man. I think that I'm actually getting stronger. I can literally say I've graduated like 36,000 from high school. Right. I can document 20,000. Matter of fact, I'm getting a national award in Ghana next year for being able to prove that I work with 10,000 young men and they all graduated from college.
Hello.
Right. So I'm just saying. So this ain't the makeup. You know.
Smith, we need a bail. So somebody say something.
Yeah. Bing. Yeah. So this is what we do. And my last point, the biggest thing is for me to pass a lit baton. I learned this from Alvin Freeman, our mentor, to pass a lit baton. You pass a baton to a kid that's 25. Then after 25, you now pass a torch. Don't miss that. You pass a baton to their 25. Right, that's a baton. We teach them how to run. But after that, we go to the next level. We pass a lit torch, not an artificial torch with light blinking on, with real fire. And the goal is for you to run further. Come on. So I don't want them to be like me. I keep teasing my son. I said, son, come on. You need to be better than me. You've got to run further. You've got to run faster. And that's the goal for me right now.
Kenny Bird?
Well, I don't know. Me, I just I done a little documentary, and I was sitting and telling them almost like what Brandon said. It's a shame that people give more reverence and respect to the street guys and some of the other guys than they do the working man around this city. Like, we don't add any value to what it is. But when you look up, outside of my 17 kids, it's probably 150, 160 plus kids that's calling me pops or dad or whatever the case may be. That's it. Or unc. I think I'm unc now because I got a little older. So once I started, me and Sean started back together, not necessarily in the community realm, but we've been friends probably since we've been in the 4th or 5th grade. Me and Tony lived in the same neighborhood, and Shaq had us over there running, flipping off of mattresses, and all of the sayings that he know. When I say they in my DNA, they in my DNA. I know everything that was taught, and we all came from the same mentor group. You know how it's a coaching SMED. You know how you got that coaching thing, and you look and you got one up here where ours up there is Alvin Freeman. He was all our mentor. He was a deacon of Corinthian Baptist Church, my church.
He was the
Everybody that
president
was
of
under,
Little
he was
League.
the president of Little League, Dayton View. I mean,
First
I'm
Date.
sorry.
First day,
do that.
they always beat us. They beat us up today.
First
They beat
date,
us up
me and
today.
Sean was playing with Dayton View.
Yeah.
First dating. So I mean, for me, because I was part of being in the streets and part of the violence and stuff when I was younger, and I always knew God was always tapping on me about doing the right thing because I had a praying family and I ignored it possibly as much as I could until Brandon. I had my first kid, and I didn't want my kid visiting me in jail or in the grave and having memorials and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what changed it for me. On Tony's point, they don't pay what we worth, but they expect us to do Jesus miracles on $1. At least Jesus and some of those miracle workers had something,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But the city then went to I don't know. I mean, I always said it had a cloud. You come down 75 right there by UD, the whole landscape changes. No matter how sunny, how fall day it is, it just looks like that. And that's because some of the people in here really want to see it crash and burn. You know, we got guys my age still out here doing whatever they're doing. They don't tell the truth to the youth. They don't tell the kids. They're not real daddies. They show up, birthday, holiday, take a picture, I'm doing it, you know what I mean? And then that leaves the gap open for guys like us to have to fulfill and raise, you know what I'm saying, kids, which we take it on, but it's too many of us out here barking on social media, barking about this and barking about that, but never show up to put boots on the ground with nothing. Never lend, they don't even donate. You know what I'm saying? I don't brag and boast and all that. We got 180 kids at a camp, and we don't really have the support of the city. We talking about 180 potential gangbangers, 120 thieves,
rapes,
robbers,
rapists.
rapists, or whatever, learning how to be men. But
I want to ask because we got a lot of OGs on the set today, so I want to ask y'all like, what is y'all perspective of the difference between when y'all was on the streets of Dayton compared to how it is now?
It was rules.
I'll answer
That's what I'd say.
that. It was a respect thing. If I fought you or whatever, that was that. It was the end of it, and I seen you and we respected each other. I wasn't coming back with a bat or a pistol or a car or vehicle or whatever. It was just, I lost.
And
You
a
know
few
what I'm
times
saying?
it did happen. It happened so seldom that we remember those instances
Yep.
when the first person got
Get
shot.
shot.
Right? It happened so seldom. We literally could name a lot of the names of that happened, and there were some people who did break the rules, like killed their best friends and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we remember who all those people
But they were
so
shunned.
seldom.
They were shunned.
They
in
were
the
shunned.
community.
They were
Yeah, they
shunned.
were shunned.
They were shunned. Now,
No, they wasn't celebrated.
now they're celebrated.
That's right. That's right.
They're celebrated.
That's
now.
right.
It
And,
flipped
and,
the whole
and,
thing.
and to go back to what Sean said earlier, I had an uncle, Murphy Frazier, played at UD, played with Brandon's dad, boom, boom, who was an All-American. So I had somebody that, even though I was tripping a little bit, trying to sell weed, I got kicked out of Stivers for selling weed way back in the day. I had an uncle that would jack me up. And then I went to the right school at Fairview with Lou Gagliardi would jack me up. And Miss Booker who would pray for
There
me.
was strong
Stronger
figures
Stronger village.
around.
The
There was
village was
Stronger
around.
village.
and
Stronger
more
village.
more involved, right? And like if you look at something, this was many years ago. I think when I first started, it was the JUMP program, the Juvenile Mentoring Program, and then we grew into redone a storefront spot, a couple units to make a youth center, right? But before we were in Trotwood School, and our grant was just to work with Trotwood School. When I knew that things had been flipped completely upside down, first off, I'm gonna preface this with say, how persons wear their pants, that don't make them. Okay, yes, it's important for you to know, but bottom line, that don't make them, right? But when I had a young man, I said, let me show you something, young man. Stand up real quick. Had his pants down, below his behind, right? I said, just pull him up one time, just for me. Just we ain't gonna just pull him up once. He was like, man, it was like I was at him.
Like it was hurting.
Mr. Sean, that feel weird. I said, now let me explain something to y'all. Do you know when I was growing up, if your pants fell out in public, somebody see you almost had to switch schools, man.
Yeah.
So anytime they could flip your mind to not caring anything about what it means, but they can actually make you feel more comfortable with your whole out than with it in, man, you know we was in trouble.
Yeah.
But that's a marketing job. That's a marketing job.
marketing.
They sold it to us.
Well, let's keep it 100. You know what I mean? It's not about no pants, but just keep it. See, you got to remember when we came from the streets, me and him probably had the Mike Tyson fight of the century. No, all jokes aside, we met at Hooks. He fought Bobby, I fought Tony. I'm talking about cars and people watching. Them jokers fought. My fight was the first one. It was a main event. But just listen to what this goes. This was back then. You get what? This is in the 80s, man. We meeting at this big old scene. But even in our wildest days, even when you talk about the drug dealers get all the play, the people treat me like a mayor. Man, I was a drug dealer, honestly. You get what I'm saying? So, honestly, I wasn't a mayor. You know what I mean? I really was a no-good thug. You know what I mean? Literally. But they respect me because you wouldn't have known that's what I did, only by the gifts and the cars that I drove.
Right.
We did not do what they do now.
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I mean? I did not go around the family with guns and drugs. They might have saw cars. They might have saw different stuff. They probably knew, but they never saw.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because that's how we carried ourselves. You get what I'm saying? So even when the streets, you go back into the 80s. Now when heroin was knocking people out, one might die. This is back in the 80s. Everybody would take their drugs off the streets, bruh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody. You'll get a phone call. Don't you sell? It was just
Pull that.
Pull that.
That's all.
Yep.
No, pull that.
Yeah.
So
Don't
today,
let no more of that go.
Today's is nothing like that because we was
He
all.
died? I got more.
No,
Get out of here.
today's because we was all foolish, but we just didn't know what we was doing. It's something we jumped off the porch to do. But remember, before any of us jumped off the porch, we was friends.
Yeah.
We fought when we was little. You get what? We was friends. We swam at Princeton and had to get out and lay down on the cement. You get what I'm saying? Without no towel. You know,
Right.
we did that. We walked from Burkham. You get what I'm saying? Because we couldn't play at First Date, and we got to walk up to Burkham to watch them play. Let them know we can really beat y'all. You get what I'm saying? But it's then lost that. We lost that because we don't have no athletes and no older men that really didn't like what we was doing.
Right.
You understand? They wasn't in agreement with it, man.
Right.
People think I lived in every neighborhood. It's amazing. They think I went to every high school. I said, y'all did not skip school that much.
Man,
Right?
we walked
But I
everywhere.
mean, for real, they think because I literally, for me, it was collecting friends. Like that whole concept of bragging about how many people hate you. I mean, haters you got.
Come on, man.
Flip absolutely upside down. Imagine the brain that brags about how many people hate them.
And we all want to be like.
And adults, okay?
What about the
here-
sensation and emotional charge you get from
Okay,
that?
understand. So you build up, and what's crazy is that before the younger people try to be like us, now we try to be like them.
Now we trying to be like
That's a
them.
flip, right?
Yeah.
And like I try to be intentional about posting things with a positive spin. Even when I
Exactly.
give correction, I post with a positive spin, okay? Because if you are sitting around and your motivation is, yeah, all y'all hating because I'm winning, all y'all hating because I'm getting the bag, you skipped over all those people who love you, okay, in order to show. I say like this right here. All these square centimeters, or whatever you call it, of clear skin. You want to focus on that one pimple. You ain't never been thankful for all that clear skin, 2 pimples, 3 pimples. Oh, look at them 3 pimples. So we have to literally flip our mind because as adults,
Come on.
we're leading with people are haters. And I'm just going to be 100% real, right? Even with ladies and everything. For me, deal breaker. Straight, you know, because if you got that venom in you, if you walking around cocked and loaded all the time, if you prepared, you ain't got to be ready.
Right.
So my thing is, I mean, when I go into school, Shaq, I tell you, you know how many friends I collected on the way in here? I said, y'all, I make them feel it too. I said, ooh, man, people love me.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
you and me
collecting
both.
friends.
I
You understand
love
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
loved and be
Come on,
liked.
man.
Well, I love to be people
But we
that
all created to be like the character. Like y'all some soldiers. Like literally, like this ain't a brag or boast for any of y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all done did it. But what I tell Shaq and them all the time is that we did it It's what we're doing. So it's hard to keep a lifestyle, man. I mean, we can all choose to do wrong every day. You get what I'm saying? But to carry on the lifestyle, that's what's important. You get what I mean? It's not that I was a drug dealer. I'm a leader, man. I'm a real man. I stay away from nonsense, not because I'm scared, because I can fight.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly. You're not
it's
scared to fight.
No, it's not about that, man. But it's just about them kids that's out there really don't know. You know what I mean? They want to hear my story. My story ain't gonna help these kids. Man, I was something in '89. I mean, I'm not gonna tell them kid who I am. You know what I mean? It's about what's 2022. You get
See, I feel like no matter what, your story is still
relevant.
Your story is still relevant.
Yes, story's still relevant.
Because
Yeah, it's still relevant.
majority of these kids, they didn't do it like you did it.
Well,
But then they didn't learn. See, they gotta. See, I feel like they gotta get a chance to learn and understand, what's going on and the ramifications for what they're doing. I go to this, which you sent me early, and I was talking to Sean about it, and I said something to him, and as I'm watching it, and I said, we look like a bunch of savages. I saw not teenagers, but kids.
kids.
Yeah.
Kids learning from this, learning this cycle of being savages and just ignorant, just
Recycling crime.
recycling crime.
What check this? This is what we all of us under the sound of what's in here. We all got to remember this, that we part of it when we in agreement with it.
Yes.
So that's what happens, man. Because I'm not, listen, man. I was a drug dealer, but that's just the bottom line. It's not just like the football plays the whole life of life for me. It's just like the streets. It's the same thing, man. I ain't doing nothing else. I'm still hustling. It's the same thing. I just ain't doing it. But what I don't do is I ain't gonna be with no fool. You get what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit around with no fool in my presence. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know what he do. I don't care if you call yourself businessman or whatever. I don't hang with fools. I don't hang with people. Don't hang with their kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just
I don't deal with deadbeat dads.
I don't deal with none of them.
Yeah, I don't
And a
deal
lot
with
of
them.
us,
That's
grown
good.
folks
That's
got
good.
to understand
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
good.
we carry
That's good.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So even when we talk about the legendary podcast, I ain't a legend for what I did. I'm a legend for what I'm not doing.
That's right.
Right.
Woo!
For what you are
No,
now.
that's good. That's good.
Because listen,
That's good.
Tony, I would not have called you on
That's
here if you
good.
didn't have something that you could give. My
That's
thing
right.
is,
That's right.
what can you do for this community? And I think you are a powerful impact on this community because, listen, while we're trying to change kids, we still got to change some of these adults' minds.
We got
the
the
words.
Well, yeah, the word.
Word.
That's the
That's these bugs that are our age.
They the
That still
words.
think they
They the
25
words.
years old. Like, I'm out here hustling, I'm out here. Are you serious?
Serious.
Are you really
Let
sitting up
me-
here
and
with
let- and let me-
holding a brick of money to your ear on social media?
For real.
Let me say this. So they'll go to jail and they won't come home, and they come home, they won't tell the real story.
Thank you.
Like Tony, he'll tell you, yeah, I had this, I had that, but then he'll tell you, I lost my family, I had to do this, I had to do that.
everything.
And in turn, what they do is glorify. So now all the kids is thinking, oh, I got to go to jail to be an OG, or I got to go a gangster or whatever. You know what I'm saying, to be in this gang and all of that kind of stuff. And then, like you said, you got people at home that's collecting money off of this kid out here hustling and stealing cars and making money and all this stuff. Oh, I'm getting money for a person. Oh, I'm going on trip off of street money, and this kid can't really read or write or whatever. But like he said, if I'm taking that money from them, then I'm basically blessing you to go back out here to do wrong on the streets or whatever.
You complicit.
Like, if
You're
somebody
complicit.
ever they try to do me, I'm knocking it out of your hand. I'm probably gonna fight you for even you trying to do it. And I tell people all the time, in my circle, like us and a couple other people, Coach Parker, you can put a microphone and every 800 cameras in the house with me, and I'm gonna be the same way in the house.
Absolutely.
Now I might be in my boxers and my white beater, you know what I'm saying, with my shoes off or whatever,
ashy.
but I'm gonna be the same person inside of my house that I am
that's real.
outside. And that's what happens. Everybody got 3, 4, 5 different personalities. Everybody got, I'm out, I'm social media, I'm catching the bag. Oh, I got my new outfit. And then they come in, and when your bag is gone, now you want everybody to feel sorry. Such and such rub. If you doing something listen, if you're doing something, if SMED out here, I'm gonna use that. If he out here and all the food carts out here and some violence and shit happen on his property, whether he fueled it or not, he set the atmosphere. So if you don't change the atmosphere, whatever,
So, here we
you're
go.
part of the problem.
The atmosphere. Goldman's Plaza. The atmosphere. The gentleman there, I don't know his name, I don't know him. And he's open like an after hour spot. Now, okay, I used to go to after hour spots, I was in there gambling, I was doing all that in the after hour spot.
I just got fish and potatoes, but
Yeah, I was getting chicken
It wasn't no
fish.
beef tasty in there with no
Right.
shrimp nothing in there with the deal.
I was at Tallahassee's and I was over on Home Avenue, several times.
Yeah.
And he's doing the after hour spot. But the atmosphere at those after hour spots,
different.
it was different because it was respected because the man who ran it or whoever was running those spots did not tolerate nonsense.
If you curse too loud, if your voice went up at Dave's, if your voice went up to me, hey man, you got to cut out all that cussing. Because he
What
knows
was the spot on
there's a
Home Avenue?
fear.
You talking about Jack Top?
Jack Top.
But even to say this, not to go against the dude on Gettysburg or
Absolutely,
whatever.
not at all.
Listen, it's a whole different ball game out here now. So, everybody getting money how they get money. You understand? So, listen, we don't know how the young people move. You know what I mean? But so it's not really about if he was the owner or not. I don't think none of us could control the crowd that come in now, no matter if it was me or y'all. I just won't do it 'cause that's not what I do. But you got to understand, what we got to realize is that our people is hurting. It's no way in the world should there be 600 or 700 people a week going to a place that got no windows.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
One exit?
Listen, that's where we at. It ain't about no individual. We at a place where you can have an old beauty shop on Hillcrest and it be a club.
Yeah. Yes.
So that mean to tell me that there's nothing that these people won't do. You get what I mean? So somewhere down the line, we drop the ball.
Drop it. Right.
It ain't the young people. We drop the
do.
ball.
And I've said that for years.
No, that's the bottom
the ball.
line. Let me tell you, number one is, but it's not even about my lifestyle. 'Cause I had a lifestyle, I lived it, so I have compassion. I was old, and I had the Holy Ghost, man. You get what I'm saying? And I still did wrong. So I got a lot of compassion when I see those making bad decisions or bad choices. You understand? But what happens is, man, we drop the ball. Because nobody really tell the truth. Like Bird said, I went to prison, man. I don't have nothing money from when I was a drug dealer, man. But to what people think, I'm always that. You get what I'm saying? That's okay.
Their perception
That's okay.
is
I'm rich, man. I got money from
fight,
89.
It gonna be carried.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a perception.
We shouldn't be mad.
No.
As grown folks, we shouldn't be mad about perception, for real. Because that's what they live for. Right. That's what they live for. I bought IROX, jewelry, everything, because I wanted people to see what I had. But now as grown folks ain't got nothing. So why in the world the kids won't be like us?
Well, because you slick. Now let me just be real with you. We gotta understand, if you came here, talking instead, you wasn't fluent. What they hear, we gotta understand immature brains. The brain doesn't mature fully until now 26. They keep raising it, right? Before you make good decisions, right? It used to be 21, now it's 26. Before the gray matter is fully developed. All right, so we're dealing with something. So when something's not developed, it's clay. So anything that it hits, it makes an impression. That's why young people are so oversexed now, okay? Right. So if you start with being oversexed, things are being released in your body before it's ready. Literally, that's creating a trauma environment. Not to mention the molestation and all this. So when you look at violence, the only thing you have to do is get people to keep it real, men and women. How many violent offenders, how many killers been molested?
That's right.
Okay, that's nobody's talking about it. But we also have to.
Everyone say something about mental. The mental part,
absolutely.
He went in there and he killed 10
but
people.
Not what brought it.
Mental.
Absolutely. Come on. So, but if you look at what we have to be careful of is, I understand what you're saying by trying to put that down, because young people hear the glory part. They don't never hear the hell he went through.
Right.
So if he talk too much about the IROC and all that, that's not giving him credibility. That's giving him permission.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Say it again.
Okay, and they figure you turned out okay.
Right.
Well, why would they think everybody going? Why would they think how many people end up being okay? People still play the lotto and the casino stay full because we gamblers by nature.
Right.
Okay, we don't care how many people lose.
Come on,
Okay,
brother.
we think we gonna win. So the key thing is what he's saying is that there is no right way to do a wrong thing.
No.
And what it is, and I'm not judging at all. See, I'm not talking emotion. This ain't Sean's opinion. There's a fact. These are facts. I don't deal with none but facts.
Right.
There's no right way to do a wrong thing. And when we do a wrong thing a little bit and do it with a higher standard,
You get glory.
as it goes, it degrades.
Internalize it.
So I don't care what. If we don't stop it now, the generation is doing the wrong thing on their standards because ain't no right way to do a wrong thing. Period. You know, so that,
Go
that's
ahead,
the
Brandon.
image.
Go ahead,
Check
Brandon.
this out. So I'm no mental health expert,
Uh-huh.
but I'm gonna just ask a rhetorical question. What is mental illness? What is mental health?
Me?
Well, no, just what is it?
No, I'm just using, when I said I ain't being funny, I'm just saying I had to be literally mentally messed up to think I can wake up, sell keys every day, hit on a plane, go to New York, 17 years old, $500,000 with me by myself. You get what I'm saying? You don't think that I was mentally messed up?
So, and I asked that to say, the issue is people use this mental
As a crip.
mental illness, and
As a crip.
before I even get to talking crazy, look, I understand. Like the saying, mental illness or mental illness is real, okay? But my aunt, because I sat and had this conversation, I said, "What is mental illness?" And she said to me, "It's an umbrella of stuff." You see what I'm saying? Their mental illness is just what it is. It's so much stuff
Go to it.
Up under
up
under
mental
there.
illness, mental health that is.
In degrees.
Yeah,
Too.
and she started naming it off. I'm like, well, hold on now.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like,
Right.
so
That's crazy.
when you hear the mental illness is real, well, yeah, it is, but what is it? What is it? What exactly is it? Tell me something.
For us, it plays out in itself, and a lot of people don't understand. Like if you were like delusions, right?
Right.
You're delusional.
Grand-
Well, we're delusional.
Yeah.
All right, understand what I'm saying? Anytime you think there's something, and you know, even being depressive, right? Like there's different things where you see where our young people are acting out. Okay, it's like
Suicide.
literally they live every day. Not all of them. Now let me be really, really clear about that because we talk about a lot of the negative. We live in a world of extremes. Our young people are also more brilliant than ever before.
We ever can be.
More creative
No,
than
for
ever
real.
before. So, but talking about who we're talking about right now, the young people, imagine, how can you not say I'm depressed? If I'm willing, okay, we would say it was suicidal if you put a gun to your head, right? Boom, pull the trigger. But if I got 10 people in my crew, I got 7 T-shirts with their picture on it. On the same corner, the same neighborhoods doing the exact same thing. How are you not suicidal? How are you not suicidal? Because that's not a guess. I'm not suicidal because I got an 8 shooter and only got 7 rounds in it. A 3 round, you know what I'm saying? No, it's the same thing. So mental health and mental illness, people think there's 2 different things. You know what I mean? Mental health is a thing, but mental illness is a diagnosis.
Are you not familiar with the term nature versus nurture?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So nature is basically like your born state. You were born exactly who you are. Like that's saying, like for instance, nature could be the point. Like Hitler would have been born Hitler no matter what.
No matter
happened
what.
to him, right?
No matter what.
Nurture is the environment that
Community.
breeds you to who you are. So what do you think is really the defining factor on it today when it comes to the, you know what I'm saying, like the crop of people we got today that we call men or young men today?
I don't see no law. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just looking for a strong black man in Dayton, Ohio, man. Really, for real. Like, literally, man. It's not. That's not. I don't care where he come from. I really don't care. If he come from the streets, NFL, whatever. But when it happens, we don't have those strong men that won't sell out, like for real. I mean, like literally, man. See, because we call them back in the day, you call them house niggas, whatever you want to call them. But it's really a spiritual, like natural. So you don't have to be something that you ain't. Just be you. You know what I mean? That's it. That's what we're looking for.
Don't be scared to be you.
Let me ask this though. Let me ask this. Doesn't each generation become less impressed with the younger generation? So, for example,
Absolutely.
the people who are older than us
Yeah.
feel like that we weren't doing a good
Say
enough
it.
job, we was corrupt,
Yes.
and we were some crazy people that they wouldn't want to be involved with.
Yeah.
And I think that what Bro Sean is saying is that you do have to give people an opportunity to mature into who they are going to become, because we all are becoming every single day. And the
But-
things that I do, the things that I do right now, or things that I did when I was 20, I would never do these things.
Yeah.
Like, we shed our skin, I think every 30 days. We get a completely new skin around us, man. And so you're always becoming a new person, physically, mentally,
spiritually.
and how you go about your day. And like, I had my store in 99 or in 2000. We was across the street from Majestics, and a couple of people got killed there. And they was gonna shut down Red's liquor license at Majestic. So we went up to the state board because he wanted me to just kind of go up there and just kind of talk for Majestic a little bit, do some support. And so they start talking about, oh yeah, such and such got killed at Majestics and this and all of that. And then it was like some damning points against Majestics at that point, right? But then on the counter, Red's lawyer was like, well, let me read a list of some other places where people been killed. BP,
Yeah. Yeah, it was killing.
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Yeah.
Kroger's on Gettysburg.
It's a good point.
And it was jaw-dropping, because it was like, damn, the city in itself has a problem. And you can't pinpoint any one location to say, this is, I mean, things would be more likely to happen at a club. I mean, we all get that. I don't go to a club ever. You can't catch me at no club for nothing.
Yeah, we didn't grow up.
But the point is, though, like, even if we don't go, we still don't feel safe pumping our gas at night. Like, we pick and choose what gas stations we go to.
Yeah.
I ain't going to
Say-
BP or
Valero.
Lexington.
Valero.
Just Valero. I'm not going to Sunoco on sale, because that ain't for me. And
Right.
so I think, like, man, a lot of shit, man, is just perspective, bro. A lot of things are subjective as to what we feel is bad, because, like, even us having this podcast, like, right now, there could be somebody out there that looks at it and be like, man, there's a drug dealer on there talking. Or, man, Kerry, once a drug dealer, you can be offended by anybody. Anything. NFL. It could be people who saying, man, you throwing your life away playing them games. You need to be doing this or doing that or doing this and doing that. And sometimes I think that it's important for just us, man. Like, if you do have a little bit of credibility, you kind of gotta, like, not necessarily get muddy with the people who don't, but you might have to go down there in the mud and help
Russell
pull
show.
some
Yes.
brothers
Yes.
up out of that shit.
Absolutely.
In order to show them what you can be.
Absolutely.
Like, oh damn, I see a diamond, but he a little rough. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
diamond
one
in
of
the
the
rough.
points I wanna get to,
Let's
man.
let's polish my nigga Bruce up.
If I can answer your question, go ahead.
That was the thing that we said when we talked privately or whatever, when we saw the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
We said we need to go in and try to see how we can make it a more safer environment. We're not gonna stop them from coming up there, but through my background of security, him, you know what I'm saying, people thing or whatever, is some stuff that we can help the brother with. We ain't trying to throw, but that's if he's willing to understand
No.
that it's
He needs
that while you're hustling and you're trying to get money and you're whatever you're doing, that you got to take the, you know what I'm saying, you got to take the good with the bad.
Man,
and even
and
though
you
it's
gotta
not
take some
happening
good advice.
inside, just think about if you wasn't open. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't in that location, not saying it wouldn't happen,
Right.
but it wouldn't be so frequent. It
Well, my
wouldn't
best
be this,
friend
it
died
wouldn't be
up
that,
there.
and all that stuff.
So my
Yeah.
best friend died up there, man.
Yeah.
And the fruits of, the answer to some of what your
Definitely.
question, two things. Two things. One is you talk about nature versus nurture, right? Is your pit bull a fighting pit or a lap dog?
Right.
Whatever you raise it to be, that's what it's going to be. Okay.
Right.
Now there is some nature in a pit bull to make it more feisty. My granddaddy fought and whatever. He worked out hard every day. My dad did the same thing. I'm an incredibly aggressive person, but I feed my peace. Okay, so if I didn't feed my peace, understand I will be the complete opposite of what people see. So that's one. And also, as far as each generation, the proof is in Bible says you can tell a tree, and that's the easiest thing ever, by the fruit that it bears. So I go with results. I don't judge nothing but that fruit. Okay, so if your fruit is producing death, and I don't care what generation it is, right? Our fruit produced some rotten fruit that and the bacteria or whatnot seeped into the seed. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? It seeped into the seed, right? And so now we producing something that we gotta fix. And even if it wasn't my problem, it is my problem because it's like I'm just keeping it 100, not a brag or nothing. My son straight, my daughter straight. Both of them married. The whole I don't have to do none of this. And I'm not looking for a pat on the back. What I'm saying is this. It's not that hard. I don't expect for anybody to do what Bird doing, even Kerry, the way you coach and run them guys all around, run camps. Because here's the reality. You do what I do, you're going to break yourself. I'm going to be real. People don't know I ain't had no air in my house for 3-4 years. Period. Serving. When I could be getting some money. 90, I ain't got no air right now. Okay, I'm not asking you to do that. Okay, what I'm saying is that each person have an extra seat on that back. We got 3 rows and occupying one of them. And right? So put some other people, this is on, because eventually, literally, instead of talking about what people are not going to do, my thing is put one young person, put their feet under your dinner table, and it'll make y'all eat together. Every Sunday. Ain't got to stay all the time. Sometime when y'all go out to eat, just take one from the neighborhood. If everybody brought one young person,
Well, remember this though, for everybody that's up here, too much is given, much is required. That's just the bottom line. So some of the times people think that I made it, man. Listen, man, God looked out for me. Most people couldn't even go through half of what I went through. You get what I'm saying? So I understand my calling, number one. You understand? I understand I didn't make it out of the streets. God allowed me to. So I understand who I am. Number one. You get what I'm saying? So you can't brag about where I've been or what I didn't do. Because I know that it was somebody besides me. You know what I'm saying? So when I get to judge my angels, I'm going to be like, man, you was all right. When that man tried to kill me, you know what I'm saying? I didn't die. Hey, man, you was all right with me. But what we got to understand is I don't judge the little guy, Bruce, but I don't even know him. I respect all them little guys. They respect me. But what it is sometimes we got to understand this new generation, they just don't want to hear it, man. You get what I'm saying? And the only reason I'm telling you now, I'm telling my partners, I've been telling this for the last couple of months, don't be afraid to be blessed. You get what I'm saying? So when you rock that Corvette, whatever you rock, they're going to come and ask you, man, how you got that? You get what I'm saying? But majority of the drug dealers don't understand what they got now, you ain't going to have. That just don't happen. I had a 300-gallon fish tank in my wall, man. I was 19 years old, bro. By the time I was 30, I was broke. You get what I'm saying? So, but that stuff is not there. And I just told Sean that punishment is delayed. And what we want to ask everybody to understand, punishment is delayed. Just because you look good now don't mean you're always going to look good. You know what I mean? It's for us that have been there and done that. We got to explain that to them. You get what I'm saying? So even if they successful now, he played in the NFL, but he thought he was going to get that sweet money all the time. Man. He learned how to manage. He said, I got to get me a food truck. You're talking about an NFL player to a food truck? Come on, man. Like, who does that? No, who does that? You get what I'm saying? But he understood, man, I ain't going to do nothing wrong. You get what I played in the NFL, I had thousands upon thousands, man. But now I got a food truck just like a dude that just graduated from college. Right. You feel me? So that's what we got to understand, man. It ain't always going to be. Right. It's not always going to be.
Yeah. Right. One thing I want to add also is because like you spoke about something really eloquent, Sean, when you spoke about how you got the 3 rows of seats, right? My philosophy, who we had on this program before, talked about our shared future together, right? It's not about just, okay, I made it to the finish line first. You feel me? It's about the other people coming behind you too, because I could win this race, but if I do not sit there and pass the baton to the next person, or I'm not worried about the next row of seats, then that's where we losing them. You know what I'm saying? And bro, man, this is a powerful
and let me say this: what Margaret Peters said to me. ancestor Margaret Peters. Long time ago, I was working with a lot of young people, and Margaret Peters said to me, "Okay, you know you're not successful if you don't have a successor." I had to think about I'm doing this. I got I got 500 boys. You telling me that? So I think that's my whole thing about passing the baton and then the torch. I'm gonna go back to what they said. I might differ on one part. The messaging is killing us now.
Yes.
The messaging used to be a
Yes.
lifestyle. Now it's a death style. Yeah, it used to be a lifestyle. Now it used to be the 10 Commandments. Now it's the Thug Commandments. I gotta get my respect. I gotta get my money. Yeah,
that's real.
yeah, no, you know. So we live in.
So, Shaq, let me ask this question to all you guys, because I'm gonna get back to Brandon. I got some things I want to go to Brandon about. But how can we better our community as a group of black men? Us, I'm gonna include Brandon. Us 6 right here. How can we improve our community together? How we already work together. We got each other's number. We contact. We talk. How can we go out in our community, get some more brothers, get some younger brothers, meet somewhere? Because right now I think we got a good mayor in place. I think we got a mayor that loves this community and wants to help this community. I still know politics is always involved.
Yeah, for sure.
But I understand that, I think we got a guy that wants to better this community, because I see him out and about in the community doing things. I'm not saying I'm not saying anybody's great, but I think what he's doing is in the right direction. What we have not had in a very long time, and I think, huh? Yeah. So, ding,
And
ding,
he'll be in Princeton on July 12th. I'll be there to meet with him again.
ding, ding. So, we can talk to him, but what can we do with us 6 right here?
I'm gonna say it like this, Kerry. I don't know, man. Listen, we just got one shot at O'Reilly's not even an hour ago while we were on the podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
O'Reilly's.
We have to. It's got to be some action. Action has to be taken.
I'll say it.
And I'm ready. I'm ready to
I'll let
right
y'all
on
go
side.
first. 'cause
beat
I
my
always
feet
got
to the
in.
concrete
Next to Riley's.
to try and fix this thing. And I understand we're not going to save the 18-year-old, because 18 to 25, 18 to 30-year-old, we're not going to save them. Their path is going to be chosen. They're going to do what they're going to do, and hopefully they listen and want to come join and partake in what we're trying to do. I feel that we had, like, I heard this man say something about generation, and this generation looks at this generation. But we got to change the generational cycle of savaging that's going on in our community, where we have to go down to the 4th and 5th graders and change their mindset on what they think is success.
What a man? Why is a man scared to be saved? I mean, we go back to, is a man scared to be saved? Is he scared to show the characteristics of staying with one woman and not flirting around?
But we have to, I think we have to impose ourselves on our community and get these guys in here. If we can just say we have a meeting at Princeton and say I bring 2 guys, Darren bring 2 guys, you bring 2 guys, you. Now our numbers have gone up.
And that's the spirit. See, some people believe other things. What you just said, literally, I was waiting to not just get with the young people, but if everybody get to it, it's like you build a multi-level anything. If I bring 2, you bring 2, and we ask them to bring 2.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we're gonna need the masses. We need people to walk with.
We need the masses.
And we need to have a real talk conversation, close the door, have it out about what our value system looks like, so we can walk out. Because my value system is this: don't attach yourself to nothing created by man.
Right.
I'm gonna stay fly, but I ain't gonna never be bought and paid for. So you'll never hear me talk about, and here's the thing I caution men about. Yes, you could talk about how much a car costs, but here's what we know for a fact about this society, okay? Whoever made that car wasn't you. Whoever gave you the money for that car wasn't you. Okay? So when we really, like right now, the generation is so much into getting the bag that we're really saying get the bag at all costs. So here's the reality. It was an old song, rap song, son. He said, I'm too ugly to be a preacher. I can't sing. Da-da-da. He was saying all of this, right? So basically, everybody ain't going to be able to play on the line. Everybody ain't going to have something. So if you got me, myself, and I, and all of them got low self-esteem because their self-esteem is attached to something that was not created by God for me, okay, then you in trouble. So my thing is this. If we take it back to, like, remember when the guy in the neighborhood who didn't have no money but had great wisdom was somebody, right? Remember all those, the guy who was the mechanic was the mayor of the thing? As men, we have to raise our self-esteem, right? And don't try to tell them it's the right way to do the wrong thing, number one. Two, put back into loving relationships, because it ain't going to stop with no discipline, right? I love on them, man. From 20-something, they smell like 2-year-olds. Hey, in the gym, what's going on, young brothers, man? I love y'all, man.
Right.
Look, I love y'all, man. I look them in the windows of their soul. Man, they smell like little babies. Thank you, sir. What's your name? So if we can literally take and say, if we grow these men right here, right? We grow these men and bring it with that.
Right.
Well, see, I look at it like, and I you know, my thing is I agree with everything everybody said up here. I've always had this dream of doing a workshop where, again, you got two, we get some kids, we bring some young people in there from the trenches.
Yeah.
Show them something different where, okay, now you got a SMED in there, he gets up and talk. He said, hey man, I make my living, I do t-shirts, I do gold in your mouth, I do this, I do that. This is what I do. This is how I make it. I'm driving the Benz out there. This is what I do. This is how I survive. Myself and Darren, hey, I started off, man, just doing security. Just doing security. I ended up buying 5 properties. I did more from doing security than I did from the street. That's real talk.
Yeah.
But can we get those, Kerry? Let me stop you. Listen, see, the kicker of the city is, see, we old, man. We old. Just go on and tell the truth, man. Just go on and tell the truth. But the thing, but the thing about what you try to do, what you can do, is, man, just like the young guys do, they might be still hustling, man. We disrespect them so hard.
But the thing of it is, Tony, I want them in there.
But the reason why they won't come is because we disrespect them so hard.
Exactly.
Is that they being judged by all. Now, I ain't saying all of us in here. You get what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, man, they not gonna open their mouth because your language already spoke bad on them, man.
Right.
So listen,
not about to come to a cipher with the old.
yeah, it's almost we got to take that judgmental because they just don't know, man.
They don't know
it's
any
biblical. They biblically, man, they just don't know. But what happens is, don't nobody want to walk in a room, man, and feel like everybody's eyes on them.
Everybody
You get what I'm saying?
That's real.
So in order for you to get this city
So
back,
we have to welcome them with open arms.
you got to have one of them to get them.
Exactly.
And you got and why do we have to bring them to us though? Why do we have to bring them to us? Because I'm gonna be real.
that's right.
And I ain't nobody. I ain't got no reputation or nothing. Man, when I tell you, man, that love thing, if I don't even know their name, I've never, and I'm 54 years old, I've never had a young person who I couldn't operate with. I'm gonna care if they was in the street. Number one, I lead with love. Now I tell them, if you could do it that way and win, I would still tell you not to do it because it was wrong, but I'm gonna be 100 with you. You can't win that way.
Right.
You can't win at a game that people gonna switch. If they could switch the rules, you ever play Uno with little kids and make them their own rules, you can't win. That's the way it is. So if we
Tony, I'm not.
we gotta go
My
to them.
thing is, I love those guys. And I saw some just this past weekend, some young guys that's in the streets. I'm like, hey, what's happening, man? You know, I'm giving them love. I had them at Colonel White, and we got a good relationship. I don't have a bad relationship with those guys. But even with those guys I'm really not trying to target. I want to target those kids that's looking up to those
that's
guys.
a good point. That's
But you can't get those kids without those
Yeah, you
guys.
can. Yeah, you can.
I think
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can. Yes, you
I think you
can.
can.
I will
Because
show you right now.
Here's
I
the thing,
promise
Tony. Here's the thing, Tony. If
I
we
need
go
to
out
get
and
my
we beat the
earpiece. Let's put 100
pavement,
on it.
and say we go through the programs like like we got a good guy on our team as far as Will Smith, President Davis Board, that they can give us names of some kids that 4th and 5th graders that are in jeopardy. Because I worked in the building. You know that. I worked in the building where kids, 4th and 5th graders, are out of control. And they need that nurturing. Let's change the narrative. Let's change from them looking up to them and look up to something else. I'm not going to sit there and shit on them.
Yeah.
On those guys. I'm just saying, hey,
give them an option.
look over here, because here's my thing. I'm sorry, hold on, Shaq. Here's my thing. I know maybe 8 plumbers who make 6 figures a year. The kids don't know. I know HVAC guys that's making 6 figures a year that they don't know. There's just so many things that they can do without just even going to college. Yeah, we want them to go to college, but here's the thing that I want you to look up to, that this man, Sam got, if you go to Main Street Hillcrest, Sam got about 8 vans sitting out there. Sam has his own thing. Yeah, he got his own thing. Cecil got his own thing. His cousin, Mike Preston, got his own thing. These guys are making good money and having a great home. And what I'm saying is, if we can bring those guys in and show these kids, hey man, not be afraid to say, hey, yeah, I get on my knees and I put in pipes and I do toilets and I do this. But when I go home, it's satisfying, it's fulfilling because I'm not doing this.
Well, let me add real quick. Organize. Here's what I would say first. First of all, the group of us 25 brothers that we know, first we got to make sure we support each other.
Absolutely.
That's number one. We got to support each other. Our money got to stay in the circle, right? Because let me give you an example, right? The number one camp, and I'm not putting a number on it, I'm just saying the most efficient camp right now is what Bird and them are doing.
Yes, it is.
Now watch this. They got 200 and something young boys. So we can get those men that want to make a difference to start there. They got, out of the 200 and something, 150 of them boys is from the city of Dayton.
Right.
So we can get
single mom.
Single mom. Now, we didn't even have enough money to get a bus to take these boys to wherever Bird them take them. Field trips and whatever else. What I'm saying is that can be a starting point. See, sometimes we make it too intricate. We make it too complicated, y'all. We say, we got we get them 25, 30 men.
Already there. We can program them all.
Exactly.
And no program in the city got more young men. They had 500.
Right.
But
they had a wait list.
Yes, they had a wait list. It's 200 something. I'm not gonna point the finger at nobody, but y'all give the politicians to me too much damn credit. No, hold on. Right. This politics, because I'm saying, you mean to tell me that we can't come up with enough money, right, to at least get the 2 buses to help them young men, where we could have been serving 500 young men instead of 200. So what I'm saying, let's don't make it so complicated. Let's get them 30 brothers we know, make sure we're taken care of, make sure I'm supporting you, Brand. I missed that football camp, my favorite camp. Oh my God. But I'm just saying, it's just so important to take those brothers, take our resources, and put them there. They got 200.
I agree.
I want to add to that point. Because you guys all are nailing it. But the whole thing about it is, like, think about it from a coach perspective, right? If you want the whole team to buy in, you get that star player to buy in first, right? So if you got a kid, for instance, like the brother that we talked about earlier, that's a good brother to put your arms on, direct him, if you listen.
Absolutely.
If you listen. Because he got so many people that will buy in. And listen, from the people that called in on the show that day, it's people older than him that's watching Bruce.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So those people are being influenced. The kids of that parent are being influenced, and it all go together.
And before we actually did the show, we had a whole counseling session about him, the things that he's doing,
Absolutely.
how he's being perceived, and you know who said the most
Profound.
not profound, but who made the best points about how he needs to change his behavior?
Kilo.
Him.
Himself.
Okay.
He professed every last change that he needs to make.
Yep.
And he knows exactly what he
That's
needs
growth.
to
That's
do.
all right. That's good.
So my point is kind of like some of this shit is entertainment too.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he's on the screen entertaining. It's not real. Like, and I understand people might actually look at him and feel like he's being his for real self, but the cameras is on and he's performing, bro.
For sure.
No more than Mel Gibson is gonna get on TV and play a role, do this and that, and he's feeding off the energy of the people who's calling.
I
him,
can
you
see-
know
I
what I'm
can
saying?
see some of that,
But
but-
to Peanut's point, and then I'll pass the mic. But for you guys, especially the polish that y'all got and how y'all understand, if y'all could like really chop it up with him
Oh, yeah.
and get him to understand what he's doing wrong and make them tweaks, then he would be able to influence so many people
Right.
to come on in and do it a better way.
I
And so I think we
I
all
know
like
him
on the
though.
same.
He run. You know what I'm saying? Star. I know him. You know what I'm saying? So I know where that left turn went from him, because when the spotlight is on, it's different. The alter ego and stuff comes in.
there you go.
He wasn't expecting it to be
it was
like
too
it
quick.
was, and it happened so
fast.
But
It
up
happened
here.
so fast.
Hey, like, what
that
you
he
gonna say?
couldn't-
Don't
he
let it go
couldn't
to
even-
your
he
head.
couldn't even control
Yes,
it.
it was-
You know what
Don't
I'm
let it
saying?
go to your
He
head.
started from, okay, I'm a
No.
hustler, because how his story, like where he was with, the people he was with, they basically whatever. So he said, oh, okay, yeah, I'm the one who bring all the people, so I'm gonna go over here, and that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
Because they follow that. Now that you got the platform, what are you gonna do with the microphone?
There you go.
And the key to Million Carry, just think about where we came from. So the grace is good, like where we came from, like literally, we literally was street guys, like literally, man. We did wrong. We was the same age as this guy. You get what I'm saying? Pretty much. But what happens is we all grown, man. We had a lot of failures to get to where we at. But what happens is he don't get a chance until we teach them, not just him, them. You get what I mean? Because man, listen, I don't believe I seen a drug dealer today raise his hand and say he want to kill people. Everybody chasing money, man. You know what I mean? And if you got a club that was
Why you
jumping
wanna
like
jeopardize
Kicks,
that?
well, you got a club, Kicks was jumping, you get what I'm
Right.
saying? We shooting the stuff at Kicks, bruh. You get what I'm saying? It was overcrowded. We fighting in Spunkies, man. You get what I'm saying? So
Y'all ain't
what
fighting
happens?
Spunkies now.
Yeah, y'all trying. So what happens
Strike that
is
statement.
we target them, and we really ain't give, like Sean said, we ain't giving them a chance to change. You get what I mean? But what we're saying, in the midst of their chance to change, we ain't tolerating that as grown folk. You get what I'm saying?
So
You
it's
still
al-
got standards.
It's,
Yes,
it's
we got-
almost
we got-
like it's almost like when me and Shaq was doing that gang thing. When something it just get too much in the city, then they call a meeting.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And they bring the people, like Peanut said, that can speak down the line.
That's
The
how
call
y'all
in.
gotta- that's how y'all got to roll it.
The
You got to get
call-ins.
them in there, and you know what I'm saying. And
But
then you start
my
talking
thing,
whatever. And all
my
that
goal
stuff.
on this platform is, I don't want to continue to talk about it.
Absolutely.
I want to do action.
Peanut I'll call Bruce.
Folks should be held accountable.
I'll call Bruce.
Give me the next Wednesday
Our
afternoon.
community, the people in it should be held accountable. The
8%.
brothers our age should be held accountable
For sure.
for the dropping of the ball, for not passing, but they're not teaching these other guys, hey man, it's a better way to do this. You don't have to do that, brother. I've been there. I tell a young cat now, there's nothing you've done that I probably haven't done.
Right.
I've been in shootouts.
The old heads wouldn't even let you hustle in them spots.
Yo,
At
what?
all.
So we created new spots.
Yeah.
And
They knew your parents, and they were like,
They
"What
would
are
have-
you know what I'm saying? What are you doing down here and all that?" But it ain't like that today. It's-
Another voice
come
we're
on in with it.
missing. Another voice we're missing, and just work with young people. Like I said, I agree with everybody. Like, and nothing I've said really have been really pertaining to the young man. I mean, so I understand that, but I'm careful not to, because, like when we had the last little gun violence thing or whatever, and I asked, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I just asked what makes this different than any other time. Because if we get when we get here, I think we burn out quickly, right?
Right.
So one of the things is not just making it about him. I'm still talking about the systemic thing. See, even if that goes better, it doesn't help those young people that I've seen in Hilltop when I drive down past. When I drive past the arcade, I'm like, hey, have y'all been down here? They see the thing, they say, yeah, we down here when we in the homeless shelter. Not that time we was, but when we in the homeless shelter. So it ain't gonna really be no conversation. You can't even learn a trade because I don't want to learn nothing from you until I love you. And I'm saying with the Youth Empowerment Center was an after school program. Nobody had to come there. I had them on the phone calling my staff. Hey, did y'all forget me? Did y'all forget me? So what does that say? Now, I'm not talking about the easy kids. We had kids from all walks of life, just like society looked like. We had Hilltop, we had the Soda Baths, we had some couple, close to middle class kids, right? But all of them in there. So I'm saying the only thing that allowed me to have that connection with them, and I still deal with younger people. I just got off the phone on the way here with a young man that's 28ish, 30ish, somewhere around in there, calling me, look, I'm in a jam, here's what's going on, right? So I'm saying we got to literally just put ourselves in a position, no matter what we do, is to build relationship. Like if all them guys go to Birmingham camp, which is great suggestion, that's why I was pointing Burr, say talk about your kids. Not only is that a great suggestion, but they have to also be trained to understand what their role is. Shut up and love them. Toss the ball with them.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Talk about, oh man, that's great. Because bottom line, at the end of the day, it's just about building self-esteem. Because even if we reduce men to what they earn too often. You understand what I'm saying? And when you reduce men to what they earn, then we're going to do what we need to do. We watch how many guys who used to play sports who didn't make it, who started hustling because they needed that same fanfare, right? So, I'm just telling you what has worked for me. And with all ages, and still to this day, I got the young ones and I got the older ones, right? The men, the whole thing through, I don't have no money. I had nothing to flash. When I told the guys I might not be about food next time, they're like, hey, Sean, we can bring food. So I'm saying if we go for the explicit purpose of building relationships, loving them, getting to know them, like Bird said, I know him. Right. So Bird will be the one because he knows him. So, and that's not hard to do. Like, Kerry, I'm 100% with you. I'm just saying to say that. My thing is to just try to encourage us with love to always keep us on the track of not glorifying any wrong thing. Because if we continue trying to tell them, no, you need to do it like we did it. No, that's where we got to where we at, right? Because if we, they chase something that we didn't show them. It's like when people went to throwback jerseys, right? They was trying to get close to us. Right. They really weren't no throwback. They wanted to be like us. When people started glorifying pimping, and actually the pimping they talk about is really tricking. Right. You know what I mean? But they got confused on that because they wanted to connect to something. Right. They wanted to connect to something, so they created their own version. So I agree with you. And not shunning none of them, because I'm telling you, when I say I love them all, I say I love them. I may not love your fruit.
And let me give you another practical thing. That's the one. Here's two. Two is, let's say those group of guys that we got, and I know Malone wants, I'm sure the mayor would be a part of it, a few guys. You take it to the hood. See, that's what that whole church thing there. Church without walls. We go to the hood, we won't get them no pork, Sean. We'll get them a turkey dog. Revival. You set up a tent. You knock on the doors.
Come on out,
you kids out. We got the greatest football coach. I keep telling people right now, you the greatest. In locker room motivated. They said, no, you better than Gareth. No!
We're gonna play with you.
No, I do something totally different. Kerry get in that locker room and my ass want to play. My big, I'm seeing Shaq Lambert. I mean, Kerry. So we take that gift. Brandon, season, we take that, we knock on doors and we tell them young brothers in DeSoto, in Hilltop, we outside, we got some dog, we just want to talk to y'all. We don't get them out and preach to them, but we talk to them. You know what the key is? How can I help you? Yeah. What will it take for you to play basketball or to run track, whatever you want to do? Taking it door to door. Nobody wants to do that now. Nobody wants to take the real message out there. So now, nothing against the churches, but the churches would have to admit, y'all are more ineffective than y'all are effective as a whole. And you got some churches, well, Omega, you got some people doing some great stuff. Pastor Man, I'm not taking away from none of them. You know, we agree with a couple of them, right? But we got to take that message back to the neighborhood, right? We scared of the hood. You can't be scared if you really want to help young people.
Exactly. Well, we got to do something that's going to attract those young people, and like you said, embrace them. Come on in.
Come on.
How you doing?
We love on them.
I was just saying, like, we wasn't putting no on the bad, like on that particular part.
Yeah.
But it got to start somewhere.
It's somewhere. That's
the same
great.
way,
Absolutely.
the same way civil rights, because however Rosa, but it wasn't
Absolutely.
her first.
Right.
Sitting on there, but the important thing, like Kerry said, the longevity of it. It can't just be a once
Yeah.
we have
Yes.
a meeting
Be
and
consistent.
then it's slow. It has to be a longevity.
Got to be action. We
It
got
has
to
be-
start putting.
We have to
these
have
bricks.
guys and more.
We got to start building these.
We got to
bricks
have
up.
the guys and those plumbers or whoever is in place to rotate
Yeah.
and then come and
Yes.
talk to them, because they won't
Yes.
get tired of listening.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When I walk up on them, I was just at the swimming pool at my own apartment complex, and I know them kids over there, so I ain't swam one time, but I went in there and paid my rent,
on.
and the lady was saying, "Oh, we about to call the police." I said, "Hold on, let me
That's
let me
right.
go over here
Yeah.
first."
Take
Yes.
care of it.
The
That's what
first
you
one,
do.
when I went over there, now they looking at me, I said, "Hey man, let me come over here. Everybody just let me talk to y'all." Whatever, they all looking like that. So Adam, he said, "Hey, that's my pops. That's Coach Bird. Man, y'all get out of the water and come over here and talk to him." I said, "Listen, they're getting ready to call the sheriff over
That's
here
right.
because y'all scaring everybody at the pool."
That's right.
Cut down on the cussing. Gave them my address and said, if they say something to y'all don't live here, give them my address, because I can have whatever guests, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff.
At least
a week
until
later,
they just saw them
a
start.
week later, I went back and and asked, and she said, "Well, we ain't really had it like it wasn't as bad since you went over
Absolutely.
there."
Oh, yeah.
And then that allowed, you know what I'm saying, another guy that was running the pool to. Now he empowered to say a little bit, because I said the guy that run the pool and lock it at night, y'all got to respect him too.
Right.
Because he can come over here and lock it at 1, it's 94 degrees, and y'all don't have no swimming. So I think just by showing up and present, because who we ain't gonna know as a collective group.
Oh,
SMED, who we ain't, who we ain't gonna know if we walk up somewhere, who we
Sorry.
ain't gonna know.
Facts.
We do 99%.
And with anybody we work with, anybody we touch, anybody we coach,
family,
anybody
somebody.
that you said I love you, brother, they immediately don't wanna do wrong, right? You know what I'm saying? If that he my mentor, when I was in the street, I didn't ever be around him because I didn't want to make him look bad, and I felt shameful because he took all that time to teach me and show me this, and I'm out here rocking in the streets having heavyweight fight. That ain't what he taught me. So I'm staying away from him. The same reason I stayed away from the church. And I'm walking in there and they like, "You a lifer. Your grandma and them helped start the church and you out." You know
got these
what
high
I'm saying?
standards.
So
You a heathen.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You going to hell. You going to burn, baby.
Carrie
So
started like
that's
this.
what we got to do.
It started like that. I'm gonna tell you what you do when you really make the men act like they want to do something. Like even all of us in there. See, you gotta cut all that talking. It's just like say $50 a piece or 6 of them. That's $300. You get what I'm saying? Listen, that's $300 for chicken. That's $300 for hot dog. Take the guy that got the club on Gettysburg. Listen, man, this is what you do. If you want to really get to the people, put your money where your mouth is. Put some skin in the game. You get what I'm saying? Before you say something, put some skin in the game. So we put him in there. You just get out and start giving stuff away. Man, you don't think that boy over there wouldn't want to buy 100 hot dogs or something? Man, he would love to. You get what I'm saying? That's how you put this community
Because
back.
I know we got some good brothers out there. I know we got Big B's, Tasty
Start.
Barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
We got Greg Payne that comes back and he does a lot
Start
of
putting
good
it like
stuff.
that, man.
And we can do that. So
Start putting money.
before
Start feeding them,
before I
man.
go, we're gonna talk about this a little bit more
Right.
after. I'm gonna go back to my man Brandon, and I want to end this show with Brandon. I'm gonna talk to Brandon about, and right now I'm gonna give Brandon his flowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And so by giving Brandon his flowers, I want to talk about a lot of the things that Brandon has done in this community that I appreciate.
Come on.
I am proud of you. I'm proud to say that I am a friend to you for the things that you have done. And what people don't know, when you gave out Christmas toys at Christmas, you gave out shopping sprees, and we were in the stores and Target, and we all in there working. We got our shirts on, and you're having fun doing it.
Come on.
Spending your money.
Come on now.
Buying everybody else thing, man. That's a true joy to see.
Come on.
You know, on a kid's face that don't have anything, and you providing that. Giving out turkeys, the things that you've done with BJ's Foundation. Hold on. The back to school program. Haircuts and getting their hair.
Yeah.
Girls getting their hair done.
Yeah.
That's a big-
You
Yeah.
know?
That's a big.
That was huge, man. Book bags and stuff. And you partnering with people, and folks were fighting against you, trying to do it. But you still did it. You gave. Nobody came and said, "Here, Brandon, let me throw you something. Let me throw you $1,000." Nobody. You did that. You did it out of your pocket. You wasn't. You didn't sign no 3-year, $30 million contract.
Right.
Not even close.
You gave what you had. You gave what you had, and you were truly blessed for it. I'm not finished. The camps that you gave, the free camps that you gave, and you, hey Kerry, I need the football players to come on. I say, hey man, I told the guys, it's not an option.
Yeah, I just
You
saw that.
want
Man.
work.
Yeah, they got the video up.
I got a video of what?
O'Reilly's?
Yeah.
Y'all seen that?
Yeah, I just saw it.
I just told y'all, man. It's crazy.
You seen that song?
It's free. They sent it to me.
What happened?
Go ahead, Kerry.
What a live
We're
reaction.
gonna do it after what's now. Yeah.
You
Oh, you want the live? Right?
have done so much for this community.
Come on.
And for the young guys, even on my team that were in your camp
Yes, sir.
when they were kids, and now they're high schoolers, and they talk about, oh, I remember the BJ's kids camp. I remember that the players that came here, that you took care of, all the things that you did.
Yeah.
You did so much.
And always
Your
had a
father
message.
did so much. Your cousins, your family did so much. You had a team. You had a board where you were, hey, we're going to do this. This is what you're still playing, and you're out here. You're worried about, hey, you know, Bird. You know, Bird was taking care of a lot of things while you were playing. You could call me, hey man, I need this. Can you make this happen? Can you go by my dad's house? All those things, man. Man, people don't know, and we have to shine a light on the folks that are doing all the great things around here. That's
Bell,
coming back.
Bell.
That's doing things, man. I can't get the bail.
Bill, I'm gonna try to get a bill on this. That was one.
Peanut like shit, man. That's crazy. But hey, man, you are, man. Listen, man. For a person that didn't get those great big contracts,
Say it.
and to do what
Say
you
it.
did, and there's folks around here that was getting multi-million-dollar contracts with 6 rings, played on multiple teams, and got big things, and have never done anything around here, but they worship us. And when it has to be, I want them to know Brandon Mckinney's name.
Absolutely.
That this is what Brandon was doing. This is what Brandon continues to do. To the point, Sean, I'm going to tell you this. The brother calls me on a regular. Hey, man, I got some clothes. I got some clothes for some bigs you got. I got some, no, I ain't got no chick. I got some polo.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I got some True Religion
Come
jeans.
on. Come on.
I got some shoes for them. What they want. And I'm telling them,
Come get it.
like one of my kids, honestly, literally, one of my kids, 3 years ago, wore his Gucci shoes to homecoming. Gucci shoes. Never batted an eye. Never batted an eye.
People over things.
And it's just, the flowers are due. And I love you for it.
Yeah.
I love your family for it. I thank you. One question, what was your push? What was your motivation to do that? Was it your mom?
It
Your
was
family?
It was even before I made it to the NFL. It started out with the 7-on-7 tournament. I
Yeah.
always wanted to do that.
We got jerseys for that.
Right.
We got black Nike jerseys
Right.
for winning that.
It was the kids camp, and then within the kids camp it was Shaq coming to the camp. Then we had a session. I don't even think nobody even knows about this. One camp we had my boy Corey Redding. He came in and spoke to the moms and dads.
Yeah, I
At
remember.
the camp, and that was
We addressed the parents.
that was some of the most powerful stuff.
Yeah, the fatherhood stuff too.
Oh, yeah, we had
The
the
fatherhood
fatherhood
stuff.
initiative stuff.
Cheerleaders.
So
Y'all don't
it's,
hear me. Y'all don't hear this.
Cheerleaders.
right, the cheerleaders. I mean, it's in me. It's in my family. That's where I come from. I love to see kids smile. I love to see people smile. That's why it was always, shoes are shoes. Material things, man, they come and go, man, but ain't nothing like spending time with your family. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like having family and people that really care about you around you. Man, literally, I sold all my cars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not because I had to sell them, it's because, at the end of the day, it gets to a point where it's just like, all right, whatever.
It's a car.
It's a
Come on,
car.
body.
Yeah.
Sold my
And
Camaro.
you live and you learn as you grow. But
Sold my Camaro.
but giving back is I said something. It's a blessing to be a blessing. And we are here on this earth, to serve.
To serve. That's right.
And
Mom always told me that.
we are here to serve. And so if you're just all about self, I understand, you got to make your bread, do what you got to do. But if you're just all about self, man, that ain't it.
Right.
That is not it, man. We are here to serve each other, serve people. And that's why it's important for these conversations and then to take it and put it into action. That's why this is important. Because we're all servants,
Yeah.
no matter what. So, I mean, that's where I come from, man. And I'm going to continue to do it. I got some big stuff lined up, though.
Listen, I want to tell all the viewers and people watching this, first off, I want to thank SMED, the Peanut.
They've been rocking the whole show, man.
Always
Salute to
just
y'all.
right here with us, man. He's down with me when I call SMED or I text SMED. I say, I want to do this, I want to make this happen. And SMED's like, bro, let's make it happen. And I really appreciate it because he's provided me a platform to get some words out. Because today, everything's always with me is about, I'm a sports guy. But I mentor through sports. And that's what I do. And I felt like this was a need for us to get up here and talk and make some things happen. Man, I love my community. I hear people say I hate Dayton. I
don't
love
get it.
Dayton.
Me too. I love Dayton.
I love it. I love the people in it.
Dayton too.
I love the people that was on Gettysburg the other night.
Come on.
I love seeing the cars doing the donuts. I enjoy that. That's me. I do. I ride up the hilltop. I'm not afraid to go to the hilltop and sow the bass. I love it. I love where we're from. I just want to see us grow. I want to see us do more. I thank Brandon for coming here today because Brandon, we missed a couple of dates, but I'm glad we finally nailed it because I wanted to give Brandon his flowers. I thank Sean Walton for being here. I thank him for the knowledge. I thank God for just allowing me this morning to say, hey, reach out to that brother. Reach out to these guys. I always, I tell my kids, God sends you a message. It's up to you to receive it.
That's right. That's right.
You got to receive it and embrace that light. I fought those demons for a long time for what God was sending me, what he was telling me to do. This is what I need you to do, young man. When I got shot, when I was about died, when I had the bad ulcers and I had the bleeding and I was messed up on that, the hip replacement, I was put on the life support, and it just kept saying, God has a story for me to tell. God has some work for me to do. He got some work for me to do, and it's for me to see it and me to go out and do it. So I said, damn, I got some real brothers that I know that can come and be powerful. I know I do. I know these guys gonna spit gems and make that bell ring. I want to thank Tony Ruby. It takes a man to admit I was a hooligan. I was in the streets. I was doing this and I was folks are scared to say, this is what I did. Tony does it. He does it on a regular. And he's been doing it. And I respect that out of him. I've been knowing Tony since we were teenagers. We was rocking together back then. And we still rocking today. Just on another level. I think Brother Shaq, you know, Shaq is a guy I admire. I admire what Shaq does when he comes and talks to our kids. He does his form of rites of passage, talking to our kids. I watch Shaq interact with kids in the school system. I love what you're doing, Shaq, and I appreciate what you're doing. That's why I felt like, hey, God said, hey, reach out to Shaq. Get Shaq here. And of course, my brother, you know, one of my dogs, you know, my back when I'm standing against the wall, Kenny Bird, you know, that's my guy. And I've watched Darren grow. We watched each other grow over the years to the point where we told each other, hey man, don't do that. Come on, let's go, brother. Let's go. We ain't got to do that. We ain't got to, no, you got kids. You got to take care of a family. You know, but that thing is still in us. That thing is still in us. We just don't want to let that lion out.
Man.
That lion, we don't want that lion to get loose
Sean
because
said,
this thing is going to be
feed
bad.
your, feed your what? Feed your peace.
Come on.
Feed your
Feed your
peace.
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 Peace is your weapon.
Trying to
So,
tell you, boy.
I thank you all. I want you to understand God is everything to me. I thank him every day for his grace and mercy. Because he gives us grace and mercy when we wake up and our loved ones wake up. When, like my man said, Tony said, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Tony was able to go out and get his life together in a whole different way. And he's still blessed. Probably has more than what he had back then. Those material things, but he's got more now because he's got love.
Say that.
He's got love. God is real.
Yes, sir. For sure.
He's real. Now, I want my viewers to understand that. And I'm not trying to be a preacher or anything. I'm just telling you
The natural.
what God has done for me. And
Testimony.
if you really knew my story, you would be like, damn. Damn. This here.
Big bro, let me say one thing before y'all go, and I know that you are closing out the show, but I would be wrong if I didn't say this. Like, y'all up here that's on this round table right now, man, y'all are like the X-Men to me.
Yes.
Bro, y'all are literally superheroes to my generation. I'm talking about y'all specifically.
Yeah.
This five, man, y'all the starting five of the city, bro.
Real, man.
For sure.
For real. Man, it's amazing that I got y'all in here, man, because y'all are like, I don't know, man, I really, really looked up to each one of you guys, man. Before, well, y'all never even knew who I was or anything. And it's so cool that, like, y'all really in here doing a podcast, man. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
Man, real stuff, man. Like, man, all of y'all brothers are major, bro.
I want to add
And
one more thing.
that was just my piece to say, man. Like, man,
I appreciate you.
I want to
man.
add,
Yeah,
I want to add one last point, and I want the younger people to have this opportunity to live long enough to tell your stories, for y'all to be that for somebody else. Because
good.
all of y'all going through these same type of trials and tribulations in the streets. To be here today is a blessing.
Yes.
Like I remember my grandma used to always say, I don't be mad when people call me, oh, she said, ain't that the goal, ain't it?
That's the goal.
Man,
That's the goal.
that's the goal.
She wouldn't tell you nothing wrong. That is the goal.
My mother told me when she was in transition, my mother said to me, your job was to bury me, not me bury you.
Yeah.
And when I got out the streets, she was able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't hearing what I'm
So
saying?
yeah, I'm with
When
you.
I got out them streets, my mother sat down and told me I was able to sleep at night. And I didn't understand that until I had my own child. And my own child would go out, I would be, oh man, I'm nervous. You know, he done went to this club and they acting fool there.
Yeah.
You know, I can imagine what my mother used to think when I was working at Spondy's.
Come on.
That's real.
I can't imagine that. So
And Kerry, just to add real quick, I think what you see with us brothers, you know, they say you got a stagnant mindset, and then they say you got a growth mindset. But I added one. It's a God mindset. The goal. You talking about the real transformation from the cat, you know, the cocoon to the butterfly. When you had that God mindset and you putting God in front of everything you do, behind everything you do, on the side of everything you do, and in the center of everything you do, when you got that God mindset, that makes the difference, because now you're a God man, not a man God.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you something, Shaq, and I'm gonna end on this. I know it ain't nothing but God, because there was a gentleman that was talking really bad about me to certain people. He was talking really bad about me, and I helped this guy do a lot of things to where he is now. I helped him a lot with my connections and the people that I know, my networking. Hey man, this guy needs a job. He needs this to take care of this. But then he went out and badmouthed me. So it got to the point where I saw him one day. I saw him recently, you know, at a graduation. And he came up and he spoke to a couple other friends. He came up to me now, you know me. The lion came out. And I said, nigga, don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. You know what you did to me. Don't talk to me. And I stood up, and I got the boot on. And I stood up, and my partner looked at me like, oh, snap. I ain't seen that look in your face in a long time. And I told him, I said, man, I'll put my hands on you. When I put my hands on you, I'm not going to let go. And he was shook. He was shook up. And he went around and he talking to other folks. Now it's, what did I do to Kerry, man? What did I do to Kerry? What happened with Kerry? And I'm sitting there and I said, you know what? One night I sat there and I talked. I was talking to my wife. I said, I can't be promoting God and acting like this. I can't be telling folks I'm blessed, I'm thankful, and I'm about to choke somebody out.
Come on, man.
So I ended up seeing the same guy. God, man, I'm telling you, I saw him on Humble. I haven't been in this one club. I'd say I ain't been out. I finally went to this one club just to smoke a cigar. And I'm sitting there, I'm smoking that cigar. He comes in. And he sits right there. And I looked at him and I said,
That's what the Holy Ghost do.
I said, hey man, I said, come here, bro. I said, let me holler at you. And we talked it out. And I said, brother, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know, it took me to say, hey man, I can't act like this.
Come on, man.
I can't portray this to my kids and let my kids see this, because I was around some kids and I stood up. They like, damn, coach. I'm like, you know, that was that old lion in me.
You earned some more time on this earth. Bottom line, when you were talking about your illness, now I know all of y'all around the table, literally, y'all take together by now. Let me just be real with you. And they get up every day and make stuff happen. But you earn your space on this earth, your right to inhale and exhale.
That's good.
By what you do for other people. Right?
That's what he said, sir.
Immortality.
That's good. That's good.
Right? It's through legacy, Lee. And I'm telling you, we ain't got to worry about y'all being immortal right now, but let me tell you 100%, you coming through all of that is because you was willing to give that testimony.
That's right.
And you
And
know,
God had to
what,
save
Sean?
that.
I'm gonna tell you,
Earn your space.
I'm gonna be honest on here.
Come on.
For years, I was afraid to say what I really felt. I was afraid to praise God. I was afraid of how people would look at me for praising God.
Ding.
I was afraid, man. And it just got to, and I'm gonna tell you, it took for me to get sick,
Come on, man.
damn near dying, to say, you know, I've always had this dream. I want y'all to truly believe me, understand.
Believe you.
I've always had this dream of me dropping to my knees in the rain and putting my hands up to God and saying, I'm yours. I'm yours. I'm yours. I'm here to serve you and what you need. Now, I'm not a saint. I'm still a sinner, but I'm here to praise you, and I'm a work in progress.
And you ain't no liar.
I'm not a liar. I'm just working on. I'm working on me. I'm working on me to be better.
Come on. That's it.
So I'm asking you, don't be afraid to praise God. Don't be afraid to thank God for the blessings and the things that you have. Don't be afraid to do that because God blesses us. And then, you know,
That's a whole nother cop.
there's
That's
no,
all.
there's,
Ain't that
tomorrow
it?
is not
That
promised.
blessing is over.
Tomorrow is not promised to anyone.
Promise.
My partner just lost his wife the other night in a car accident.
She.
He never thought that would happen. One of my football players, now I'm asking you all to say a prayer for one of my football players and it could happen to any kid, but this kid is a great kid. Great young man, 4.2 GPA, a work demon. He works hard at whatever he wants to do. Blew his hand off. Picking up one of those onions, picked it up, tried to light it, thought it was a dud. You know how we did when we were kids, go walk looking for blackjacks, pick them up, light it,
But at least
throw
they
it.
was little, but the onions ain't no playing.
The onions ain't to be played with.
Hey,
It took his hand off. It did some other damage to him. And the thing about him, I went to go see him yesterday, and we sat there and we cried together. And I told him, you know I love you. Because he texted me yesterday morning. He said, Coach, can you come see me? I'll be there, son. I'll bull jive you not. You can see the text.
No, we should. Come on.
He said,
We believe me.
I love you. And I told him, I love you more. It's not about football to me.
No.
It's more than football. I love you. I want to see your life.
Come on now.
He said, Coach,
It's bigger than that.
you know I'm still playing.
Right.
I said, if anybody can do it, I know you can.
Yeah. There you go.
I know you can.
Pick them right up.
So I thank you.
Right up.
I thank you. I thank you for tuning in. I'll let you know next week. I'll let you know who we're gonna have next. Right now on the line is I'm working on Mark Baker,
Shake and bake.
Shake and Bake,
Shake and bake.
sports legend. Bake did some camps, you know, giving back, did some camps.
Life saving.
One of the first.
Bake, you know, life. Grew up in the Arlington courts. You know, a guy that got out of there. You know, so I'm gonna get Bake in here, and I like at the end of the month. I think I'll be shutting down at the end of the month because I'll be in full-fledged football, and so I want to get some more people in before I can. So we might do 2 a week in July. We might get a couple in because we got some folks that's asking. I know Dre Yates is playing in the TBT. He wants to, come on and talk about playing in the TBT. That's going to be a great thing. That Joe Thomason is playing in
For sure.
from Thurgood Marshall.
That $1 million.
So we need everybody in Dayton to go out and support the TBT to keep them coming here playing. Keep them coming here playing at UD Arena. Myself, I'll be sitting up in the box because I'm good friends with the head coach.
Right there with you.
On God. Like y'all said, on God. I'm good friends with the head coach. I'll be sitting up in a nice little box with some nice food and all that stuff. Just out there watching. So, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to enjoy myself. Again, I want to thank you guys for being on here. One thing I want y'all to know, I love you. I love you, my brothers. And I thank you. I appreciate you all. We're going to keep this fight going, and we're going to start building these bricks. I don't want to just talk about it. I want to be about it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Like you said, Tony, we get $50 a piece.
Yeah, you got to be.
And we get a couple other brothers. Get $50 a piece. We got some money. Now we got Big B's Barbecue out there making hot dogs.
Take it to the hood.
Yeah, we got Greg Payne out there making hot dogs.
Right.
We could throw a 5-on-5 tournament at one of these parks outside.
Where they live.
And we control the narrative, we control the atmosphere, and we make everything all good. Whatever it takes. Well, we're going to talk about it. I love you. Thank you for joining Coach K's Sports Corner. I see you. Good night. Much love.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.